Hey cuties, what's up? We are back with some more reactions after dark, and we are of course going to be watching restaurant chain Billionaire crashes out over influencer review and loses 600 million in a month, obviously by Stephanie Sue. I don't know if this is a Chinaverse video. I'm assuming it is, so I already made the thumbnail with Chinaverse up there, but if not, well, then oh well. Yep. Was obviously he's going to keep trying to do void stuff for the rest of the week, even though the last video didn't really work right because I tried to upload that void video yesterday and it got hit with third-party copyright by Australia, which caused it to be blocked almost everywhere. Like America was on the list of things that were blocked. Like you were allowed to watch the video in America, and I was like, what do you mean? Because of like some clips from some Australian show showed up in it, and it's not allowed to be seen in half of the population that I have on YouTube. So I just scrapped that. Like I made a post about it, right? So threw that in the trash. It's unfortunate that I'm watching some of these videos, right, reacting to them, and the videos that I'm reacting to are fine, but like when I react to them, I get in trouble. ? So, oof. So we're back with Stephanie. We're back with Stephanie specifically, actually, because if you read the post that I should have made, we're going to be having some tea today, the KyuuTea, some proper KyuuTea, right? Because we got a hater comment to talk about today. So much so that this has given me a reason to go on memory lane with y'all for this episode. So buckle in for that. We might be here for a while. You might see some things you haven't seen before as well, because we're going to be looking at a lot of stuff with this thing. So that's why I wanted to do a Stephanie video, so enough people could actually see this drama, right? Because if I do any other kind of video, it's not going to be seen that much. So we're here with Stephanie mainly because I needed a Stephanie video to do this hater segment in for the tea. Also, you may have already noticed I made a new little window here for R.A.D videos to make it look more realistic and not lacking features. So we got more buttons on the top. We got all your playlist stuff. And don't worry, that black bar down there actually has a function. You'll see when the video starts. But yep, let's get into this hater comment. I don't even know where to begin, but we're just going to get into reading it, and I guess I'll go from there. So here's the hate comment. You are not a commentary channel. You're someone that talks super slow, that trues to use women to make money. Start giving art classes or some shark if you didn't buy that character. So, as usual, these hater comments never use proper English, ? That's not really offense to anyone who can't, like English isn't their first language or they don't know how or whatever. But again, when I try to write a message online, I actually try to write it as intellectually as possible. And by that, I just mean proper grammar, punctuation, capitalization, etc., etc. I mean, already we're missing periods at the end. The U isn't correct because you forgot the apostrophe, right? Both times when they used UR, the apostrophe wasn't there. They said trues. You talk super slow. Talk super slow that... what are they trying to use? Choose to use women to make money, maybe? I think they were trying to say choose instead of trues. That would make sense, maybe. Anyways, let's break this down. Break this comment down. And the second half of it is why we're going to go on memory lane here. You're not a commentary channel. True. ? I am a variety. I'm a do whatever I want channel. Because the videos I post every day is Duolingo, which is educational, arguably. Ring Fit Adventure, I would like to put that into educational as well. I mean, it's fitness. I guess it technically falls into fitness. So, educational / fitness. And then sometimes we do reactions, which are just reaction, right? It's your fast food content. Streams for video games or just playing video games in general. So there's gaming content. And then sometimes there is art content. So this hater did not do their due diligence, right? Because there is art content on this channel as well. This is a channel for me to do whatever I want on, right? But we got educational stuff, we got fitness stuff, we got reaction stuff, we got art stuff. ? Question mark. We got everything you could want, right? We got unboxings even sometimes as well. But still, yeah, true. Not a commentary channel. I don't think I do good commentary, but people are still here watching for whatever reason. Talk super slow. Yes, I'm assuming I might have said that in the video. I don't know. Again, a lot of these hater comments show up on old videos. I probably was talking slower back then too, just because I was like less enthusiastic. I was probably talking something like this. I don't know, because again, this is kind of how I want to be talking. So around here, so I'm assuming this is probably what I sounded like in that video. But I've not been giving that kind of delivery for a while. I assume everyone wants me to do that though. That it says to use women to make money. And if I could make it easier to get the John Travolta meme of him looking around, back and forth, I would, because money, where's the money? I would love to be getting this money that you're talking about, hater, because again, where's the money? Sure, I get ad revenue, but that's almost nothing, right? Question mark. Not to say how much I get, however much I get a month isn't enough to be paid out to me. So if you know how much you're supposed to get until you get paid out, currently for a while now, how much I get per month isn't enough to be paid out. So it just gets carried over to the next month and next month, right? So I'm like, again, where's the money, viewer? I'm exploiting women for money? Where's the money? I mean, currently, I'm exploiting them for nothing, question mark. So I don't know what they mean by exploiting women to make money, because it's not like I'm thirst trapping or anything. Like, what am I doing to exploit women? Because I'm watching Stephanie Sue content that equals exploitation of women. I mean, like women viewers, not Stephanie, exploiting Stephanie. Like, they're just saying I'm exploiting y'all for money. And again, where's the money, and two, how? Because again, it's not like I'm thirst trapping or anything, even though I did want to do a funny post asking if Ring Fit Adventure ever makes me like jacked, if I could post thirst trap question mark on YouTube as like a joke, like a legit like shirtless thirst trap, right? That was just going to be like a funny joke. But yeah, so I don't know what they mean by using women to make money. I mean, I understand what they're saying, but then at the same time, it's like, again, where is the money? And two, I'm just talking. I'm using a rabbit, for crying out loud, as a model. And I feel like a lot of people don't even know that this rabbit technically is a girl, because this is B-Lock from Shangri-La Frontier. Like, you can pretend it's not a girl, but it technically is a girl, so they're not even looking at a guy when they hear me talk, right? So it's like, what? I assume they just mean, I don't know, my voice, I guess. Like, I don't know what they mean by using women to make money. Again, where's the money? I'd be happy to be getting this money that is being said that I'm making, question mark. And the highest contributor to the channel is alexgkiller 880. Like, he knows that. Everyone, well, I don't know if everyone knows that, but like, it's Alex, right? Again, I appreciate it, Alex. And I assume Alex is a man. He's donated several times to me over the years, question mark. And is the highest contributor, period. And again, is a man, question mark. So, again, though, I do have a 70% female audience, and that does mean I probably should pander to them a little bit, question mark. But again, like, it's not like I'm on here shirtless or whatever I would take to try and get a female audience. They just showed up on their own. Y'all showed up on your own. I don't know. Hands up. My hands are up in the air. Like, literally right now, they're up in the air. Like, you're under arrest. My hands are up. I didn't do nothing, officer. Right? But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I have to say about that part, right? And then obviously the second half is, start giving art classes or some shark. I'm saying shark instead of what they said. If you didn't buy that character, which obviously no, I made this character from scratch. I didn't show a tutorial on how I made it, but you too can own this model if you want to, because I am selling this model. Like, when I first made it, I said, hey, you can go buy it on my throne. So if you want this model yourself, you can go buy it. So basically, what how this message reads to me is, YouTuber, please stop making commentary channel because your art is so cool and amazing, and it makes you so sexy that please, I wish for you to make art. Please make videos on art because it makes you seem so attractive, and I just can't help but need to watch you make art. I mean, that's how this comment reads. I mean, I'm joking, right? But so now we're going to go in memory lane because, again, didn't do the due diligence because I have several series on this channel, including an ongoing series right now. Well, 2, technically. It's just I haven't gotten around to the Behind the Kyuuties because I'm still making my way up to that point to getting to another original character for the thing. I forgot to turn the music on, which that's what I forgot to do. There we go. We got the ambiance in the background. Just to have like a little bit of tone back there so it's not completely just my voice in the void. I have several series, and I guess we're going to start on the earliest question mark. I don't remember what these ones were. So they're not in order up there, but we actually are going to start on actual artwork, and this is embarrassing, so because this stuff's old, right? So we're going here to the speed arts. I used to do speed arts. This first video, to be specific, was more than 10 years ago. This was 13 years ago, this first speed art here, right? And again, a lot of the stuff is embarrassing. I mentioned a post recently that here's a bunch of lists of horror games to watch, and I have all sorts of videos on this channel, but do not go past a certain point because it's all just going to be cringe stuff, right? Eventually, like, if you go far enough in someone's catalog, it's just going to be cringe. So please do not go back and watch this stuff. If you go back and watch this older stuff, I'm going to be really upset with you. If I find out you did it, viewers, I'm going to be really upset. Question mark. We're just here to talk about it. But yeah, like back in, starting from 2013, you can't see the date, but 2013, I was doing speed art stuff, right? Because that's kind of like, I was doing that alongside old video games. Had been doing like SNES stuff, right? ROM hacks and stuff. But yeah, like Anime Girl, like some of the stuff I end up privating because I was like, wow, it's so bad. And a character from a video game. I mean, I think My Little Pony was still popular back then, so I made a version of me as a pony. I'm not a brony, by the way. It's just, again, just they're still popular, I think. And I have nothing against ponies. My Little Pony. I did more stuff. The original character, this is going to end up starting something in the future. This Natsu, because she's now like a permanent original character of mine. More stuff that I privated because I was like, wow, this is so bad. Slenderman, like freaking Slenderman. I need to do a new Slenderman in 3D specifically. I need to make 3D because, you know, I've moved on to 3D since back then. Getting a lot of like bad stuff, more privated stuff. Getting more private because it's just trash. Solar Flare's okay. Here's kind of like a decent turning point. This Inkling girl actually is pretty decent because it's a drawing, but it looked, for the time, kind of 3D, how I drew it. Question mark. So, yeah, so again, this is all speed art stuff. So it's me drawing all these things from start to finish, right? Just sped up, right? Private because, again, it's like bad, but it was for the Xenoblade Chronicles X playthrough that I was doing. Pokemon, Mimikyu's here. The second Inkling is not as good as the first one. This is kind of like meh. This dragon was okay. Like meh. This Yu-Gi-Oh version of myself was actually pretty decent. And here's another turning point. These 5 here. You can't see them all. These 5 here are a back-to-back original characters that I made. That kind of like started a list of original characters to then further go ahead. So these... I've said it many times, but I don't know if everyone's heard this before, but I am trying to make a trading card game, which means you need original characters and whatnot to put into it. So these 5 will probably show up in there. Also, you see like lewd, not safe for work. It's not that bad, but I was trying back then, like anything, right? So I was like, maybe I'll try to make something slightly risque, right? So that's why this says that. And I was just using buzzwords, so ignore Momo here too as well. But Shika, she has like a special place in my heart. I really like how she came out. I mean, this is all like not great, but like the artwork is all not that great. but it's okay. Like, it's still not great here. The quality of the stuff. Again, this is all from like a supreme, I should preface this, supreme amateur, supreme beginner was like starting back in. You're basically just seeing the progress up to now, right? Of what's going on. Another version of myself, commission stuff. This Holly wasn't too bad. Now here is another big turning point. Melty Liveheart, the original character for me. Like, if there was like a number one original character, it would have been Melty Liveheart. Like, she is the premium original character for me. Like, she's like the poster girl almost for my trading card game, because she's the first 3D model that I'm going to be making. I have slowly been working on some things, thinking it through how she's going to look now, because obviously she's going to have to evolve for the future. Right. I do have Twitter pulled up over here, so I can show you some of these. That is not what I clicked on. It's just the deal is that I have to use Twitter to show you some of these, just because Instagram it just killed the quality from these things. They're so old. So there is Melty Liveheart from that specific video. So yeah, still not great, still pretty bad amateurish, but you see we're getting somewhere with the artwork, right? Well, like, we're getting somewhere. And she's obviously a necromancer, right? So, someone who summons the dead. We're going to see her again in the future, right? And again, even sooner than you think, because again, I'm technically working on a 3D model for her for the game, the trading card game that I'm making soon. Like the Gravedigger that I showed off recently in one of the videos, the shotgun with the shovel attached to it, it belongs to her, right? So we are going to actually see more of her in the future at some point, the next few months probably. Power Ranger, yada yada yada, League of Legends stuff. Another original character there, original characters here. This one, again, trying something. I was like, I'm just going to go full-blown super NSFW stuff. It's not nudity or anything, but I was just trying anything back then to see, okay, well, what happens if I do this, right? Of course, I haven't really made anything like this since then. Well, I don't even know what year this was, 2019? So 7 years ago? Again, more stuff. Here's some more Melty stuff down here. Like, I made Melty again, and then I made Melty again. Like, this is the most recent version of Melty. This Marie thing is actually really good, but it's a bit inappropriate, so I do have to probably like censor some of it, even though, I mean, it is on YouTube, and it's not even age restricted, and you can go watch me draw this, right? This video. Somewhere like around here, I think is fine, because these aren't terrible, right? I wouldn't say they're terrible, and I would even argue that they're pretty decent. Like, you're not going to see me talking too highly about anything I make, but I think once we've gotten to, around this era of stuff, it's pretty okay, right? Because I've been drawing for a long time at this point. So I will bring up Marie here, because I do really like Marie, but again, warning, it is pretty risque. I don't know if it's going to change anyone's opinions of me. Again, I was just trying stuff back then to see what views could be gotten off of it. All right, we got Marie pulled up here, which I censored. It's not that risque. There's no nudity or anything. This is just covering up the thighs, because I don't know how YouTube is going to handle that, so the thighs are just covered up. This is just cleavage, right? But again, I'm hiding it. But I just really like this, because I liked her face, but this hoodie, like, I cooked. Like, chef's kiss. I know I am, like, speaking highly of myself. My bad. But this hoodie is like, oof. It's came out so good. I forget what this guy was called. This dog. Or whatnot from was it Lappy? Was it Lappy from Astral Chain? Like, this video game in the background. It's from this game. Was it named? I think it was Lappy. Yeah, the Lappy, like, keychain thing here, the hoodie, it's just so good. Like, ignore everything else. The hoodie is just so good. And then again, we have Hex Maniac. We can skip all this stuff. This Melty I didn't really like too much. This Melty is the current and more accurate version of Melty, even though the even newer version is going to be even. What was this age restricted? No, this was the one that's age restricted. Again, that one's like very risque. The riskiest thing I've ever drawn. Also, you could have seen that at around the starting points here is when I started animating the drawings. Let's see. I think this is animated, this might be animated, this is animated. She's not animated. So starting from the Power Ranger is when I started giving them some animations with Anime Studio. I forget what it's called. I forget what it's called. Anime something is what I was using to animate these things way back then, like 6-7 years ago. Yeah, so we're going to pull up the newest Melty. Alright, so here's the newest Melty. So if you didn't notice in the first drawing, she is like stapled down the middle. So like here we have like the stomach opening. This is like a common trope at this point enough, like a stomach opening with like teeth and mouth coming out. So again, necromancer, so it's going to be kind of weird. What you call it? But yeah. So if you didn't catch that in the first iteration of her, she was stapled together all the way down the middle. So this is just her stomach being opened up. That's why there's a big tongue coming out. Good necromancer, and you can see the animations like it much better. I loved this book. I don't know if her new Necronomicon is going to look like that. I have a different idea for it for the newer updated version of her, but that's good. Like this, you could start to see the Blender influence though, because these I don't know, bandages on this crucifix, this cross back here, were made in Blender. Like I made these in Blender. These little bandages back here. Everything else was just drawn. This is Sheikah in the back, by the way. Like the shadow back here. That's the deer girl from earlier that I was talking about. The one that's like one of my favorites. But again, like Melty life art. If I had a main character, again for anything, it would be Melty currently, right? So this is the last iteration of her. Question mark. But then we move on to here, and these are the last 5 videos that I did, and these end in 2020. 2020 was the last time I stopped drawing stuff, so Speed Art 62. Though, that is because I started moving on to 3D at that point. And again, you can slowly see it through the evolution of these arts. Oh, we're spent like over an hour. Hopefully people are still here watching this. I don't know if anyone really cares. I feel like most people will just be like, wow, this is so boring. I only care about the Stephanie stuff. Like, but if you're still here, I appreciate it. Just going down again, memory lane with me. So let me bring up Sobble. I love this one because it's so funny. This is a joke. This Binding of Sobble. Alright, so we have the Binding of Sobble here. So this is not going to make sense for anyone who doesn't know what the Binding of Isaac is or Pokemon, because it's a combination of both. Binding of Isaac is obviously it's something from the Bible, but it's a video game. One of the the roguelikes of all time, right? When you think of roguelike video games, the Binding of Isaac is like the game, right? It's a little guy, little flesh dude, little flesh baby who's like crying all the time, right? So I just took that idea of the Binding of Isaac and then put Sobble, who's a Pokemon, who I think had just come out during that time, because Sobble, his name's literally Sobble, so he's crying, right? So they put Sobble here and then have him being tormented by all these spooky Pokemon, right? I was like, oh my god, that's like, I just thought it was such a cool idea, right? And so this one I just appreciate, even though it's like, it's something I made, I just think it's so funny. Obviously very horror-y as well. Then we got Scylla here, who is just a really like intricate thing that I drew, probably the most intricate thing that I drew. Let's see here. So this is a cyberpunk mermaid. So again, it's probably hard to read if you don't know what the heck you're looking at, right? So like the bottom half is always like mermaid stuff. You can see the scales and whatnot, and then the fin goes back out and then out the back, right? So it's basically like a small fishbowl to walk around in. So has a mermaid walk around in, I guess, like in the future, right? Because this is cyberpunk, so this is in the future. So it has this machine with all these legs attached to it, right? And whatnot. Again, she's also very punkish as well. And whatnot. So I think this is probably the most intricate thing that I made. Again, these legs are really good. Even though it's weird to talk highly of yourself, but just like looking back at the past, it's like, wow, yeah, these legs are pretty nice. Again, I like this this drawing that I did in general. Okay, now I haven't mentioned it, but like I was known as Abomination 9 back in the day, so that's why everything has Abomination 9 on it. If you have been seeing that, there isn't anything here that's made, I think, with Blender. The cars, I think, are hand-drawn that are flying around the background. The background is also hand-drawn, I think. So we weren't really using Blender for this. We weren't doing anything 3D for this yet, right? But we're going to get there eventually. So we have Shaw here, one of my favorite characters from the gacha game Arc Knight. Little squirrel girl who's like a firefighter. So I have it paused so you can see the start of the animation. Again, she's a firefighter, so spraying water to put out a fire. The background for this, the ground here is made in Blender, so that's 3D. The ground is 3D. The water, obviously, I made in Blender because it's 3D. The water on the screen is just an effect you get in like a video editor. But yeah, this is when I really started combining 3D and 2D together. So you have like these 2D animated arts, but then like 3D elements weaved into them, baked into them, right? Now, if any of you know what Animal Crossing is, this is a like Gajinka version of Isabelle, which just means like they're more humanized, right? A humanized version of Isabelle from Animal Crossing. I did play a lot of the newest Animal Crossing. Was it New Horizons? That was called New Horizons on the channel a long time ago. So I ended up making this Isabelle because of that. And here it is. So again, eventually I think I did get pretty decent at drawing, right? But the fact that I started integrating 3D really just took me in that direction. So here, obviously, Isabelle's, she's all drawn. The cup is drawn, but is this drawn too? The table might even be drawn here. Everything behind her, the background is all 3D. Well, the actual, maybe the sky, I think isn't. I think the sky is drawn. The sky is drawn. The butterfly is just a reused asset, 2D asset that I made for Melty. The birds back here, I think, are drawn. The water, though, the water and the rocks and the sand is all 3D. Right? That's all 3D. And then the piece de resistance, is that what it's called? After this, which is Judy here. I don't know if I even have this on Twitch. Judy is just the biggest 3D project I had undergone at the time, and then which is why I think I started moving off to doing 3D stuff, and then eventually VTubers, because I was asked to make VTubers, and that's what really got me into doing it. And then right here is Judy. Again, this is another original character, and you can see this is a full like 16 by 9. So you have Judy completely 2D drawn and whatnot. Getting more cyberpunk stuff. She's like on like, I don't know, like a tram or something in the sky. The background here is all 3D, right? Everything but her is 3D, but even like some elements of her are 3D. Like there's gonna be some cherry blossoms or flowers in her like skirt here. Like this is like a cyberpunk future LCD screen or something, like a screen that can project images onto it, right? So then you have this whole cyberpunk city that I made in Blender in the backgrounds for her, and then you can see the pink flowers in her like dress skirt here. Also, yes, my computer is struggling trying to show you this, and I'll do all this stuff at the same time, but yeah, this is that hole. Oh, you can barely see it, so it's fine, but I reused her as like a hologram in the thing as well. But yeah, so everything in the background is made in Blender 3D. Obviously, we're using some images that I had drawn in the past for holograms, like I said. But everything in the background is 3D. She's 2D. The smoke, I think, is 3D. The flowers on her skirt are 3D, but everything else is hand-drawn with her. And then, of course, from that point on, that's when I really started using Blender. Is Judy. Like, Judy was a turning point. So I made this huge cyberpunk thing. I was like, let's see what else I can make. Right? And then I eventually started making characters in Blender. And then, of course, recently enough, we have the daily node, which is me making just random objects if you want to know how to make them in Blender. So pencil, dice, tables, right? Some bones, crates, barrels, stool, basketball, the skimmer thing I showed off before, couch, chair, hammer, dresser. This dresser actually came out really nice. The shotgun. This is, again, the shotgun shovel that's supposed to be for Melty Liveheart that I was just talking about whenever I get around to making her 3D model. I'm making all her weapons first, outside of just making her. The boar I showed off in yesterday's video as a joke. Well, not yesterday's video, but the last time we did a Stephanie video. This boar, I showed that from scratch. Then if we'll go even further, we do have the Behind the Kyuuties series, which is where I make characters specifically, and this was for Mindcastlin, which is a character from Yu-Gi-Oh, which I have showed off here. I will switch to that VTuber because this is a VTuber. No, it's this one. If you haven't seen this one before, this is Mindcastlin. So this series here is me from start to scratch making this model slightly scratch, right? Because anything that has a body, I already have a model that I've made and just reuse that and contort it to my needing. But everything else was like obviously made from scratch. So yeah, here's Mindcastlin again. If you want to see that from start to finish, well, there's some stuff that happens past this point, past the end, that isn't on camera. So it's not the entire thing, but it is like most of it. Getting to that point, getting to, getting it to mostly be complete, right? And of course, we have this analog horror VTuber model as well, which this one is for members only, this specific series. I can open it up if anyone wants to watch it and they're like, oh, okay, I would like to watch this. I don't think anyone's going to say that, but if anyone would want to watch me make this model from start to finish, then I can make it open to everybody. It's not the whole thing, because I do make some changes to it, obviously. The mouth is not the same. I was using 3D for the inside of the mouth. I was like, let me just make it 2D and cartoony on the inside instead of it being like a 3D model, because I didn't really like the way it looks when it was 3D stuff inside the television. So yeah, again, no due diligence. I have been showing off artwork and making stuff and whatnot on this channel for 13 years, more than 13 years. So I got all of that stuff down. So yeah, that is our little trek down memory lane that most of y'all are not going to know about. Well, I should say all of you. All of you are not going to know about any of that stuff. So now you do. So let's just read this one more time to see if I have anything else to say about it. You're not a commentary channel, or you're not a commentary channel. You're someone that talks super slow, that trues to use women to make money. Start giving art classes or some shark if you didn't buy that character. So yeah, I don't think I have much more to say about that. Again, this was just an excuse to go on memory lane for all my old stuff that I used to do. I feel like maybe eventually I'll try to just do like a 2D drawing again. But there's just too much to do, right? I want to make more 3D stuff. Again, I am trying to slowly ease my way to making a 3D model of Melty Liveheart. It's just there's so many weapons I had to make. Because I still need to make a new Necronomicon for her, a new Necromancer staff, and then there's like a fourth item that I can't really figure out what I would want it to be. It has to be something like graveyard related / necromancer related. I was like a lantern, but like a lantern that's also a flamethrower, kind of like how her shotgun's also a shovel. But like I'm working it out in my head, and I just have to keep thinking about it. since the way I usually think about these things is like when I go to sleep or when I am going to wake up and I'm laying in bed still, I try and focus hard on imagining designs that are like, for 3D, right? The 3D models and stuff, right? So I've been working on that in my head before sleep and then waking up. That's how I've been doing that for years. Even with the 2D drawings, that's how I was doing them, like before going to sleep. And then when waking up, I'm sitting in bed, or laying in bed, I mean, thinking about these designs, trying to map them out in my mind. Anyways, though, that is that. Again, I don't think I have anything else to say about that comment. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. Again, I don't think anybody watched most of them. I'm assuming they just skipped the first 36 minutes. I'll try to make sure to put a timestamp of when I'm done talking about this in case anyone wants to skip it, because I'm assuming everyone's just going to skip this. But if you watched all that and watched me talk about all the stuff I've made over the years, I appreciate it. I do. So yeah, thank you. Hopefully you appreciated looking at all the things there from the past. Question mark. Hopefully you appreciate the new window here for R.A.D with the video goes into, right? The buttons on the bottom to make it more realistic. Same thing on the top there as well, because of course this is just not a real window, right? It's fake window, right? It's not real. It's just something I made to look like a real window. Wait, we need to get rid of the ambiance in the background. So let's turn that off. I haven't actually set this. Hold on, give me a second. I hadn't set the video up properly to be watched how I usually watch it, right? That is pretty loud. I need to turn that down.
I'm not entirely sure what's been going on in this world, but I feel like everybody who owns a food company has been off the freaking rocker recently. We had the burger wars in the United States where the McDonald's CEO eats burger.
I was like, what is he talking about, the burger wars? But yeah, everyone's making fun of them, right? Where the CEOs or whatever eating these burgers and they're trying to like not bite them at all. Like they're trying their hardest not to eat these things, which is like, okay, why are you trying so hard not to eat them? What do you know that's in them that we don't? Like, why are you having such a hard time? Well, what kind of poison do you got in there? You got some sort of brainwashing nonsense in there? What's in those burgers? CEO? Question mark. Also, if you didn't catch it, I have a I always forget what it's called. A spectralizer? Is that what this is referred to as? I think so. Something like that. Yeah, spectralizer. There's a spectralizer down here for the audio for the video, so hopefully you appreciate that as well.
Everyone starts clowning on him for the way that he ate the burger. Also, he didn't call the burger a product.
I love this product. It's a delicious product.
So like it was just all
product.
He was actually like a robot.
I love this product. This is a good product. Please buy my product. It is so good and delicious and healthy for you. You will love the product as much as I do.
And then all of a sudden, Burger King CEO is like, let me show you how to eat a burger. And then it got to the point where there were
Okay, at least he actually ate the burger, right? At least he took a bite out of it. Who was like the first CEO? Who is this?
rocker recently. We had the burger wars in the United States where the McDonald's CEO eats.
Okay, McDonald's. Okay, like, that's not a good look for McDonald's. Right? I'm like fine with McDonald's. I've always been like a hater of Burger King, even though it's been fine, right? That's more of like a childish thing, right? Because you want to pick sides when you're a kid. So, you know, I like red, my sister likes blue. I like McDonald's, so that means I must not like Burger King. I have to be against Burger King, even though we did eat at McDonald's and Burger King. Probably like equally, right? Because you want like the, what were they called? Were the big kids meal at Burger King or was that McDonald's? I forget what they were called back then. But, you know, the big kids meal for both. You were trying to get both, right? So it didn't really matter. We were still going to both of them.
Burger. Everyone starts clowning on him for the way that he ate the burger. Also, he didn't call the burger a product.
I love this product. It's a delicious product.
So like it was just all sorts of weird.
All he did was eat the bread.
He was actually like a robot. And then all of a sudden, Burger King CEO is like, let me show you how to eat a burger.
I mean, that's a bite.
And then it got to the point where there were too many CEOs trying to
Okay, they're all taking bites at least of these, out of these three.
show us, the regular people, that they also can eat burgers. And then it just got weird. It was almost like, I want to see every single fucking CEO of every major tech company. I want to see how they do the dishes, because that will tell me everything I need to know about you. Because
The dishes?
way someone does the dishes, it's like you've never done the dishes in your life. You can't fake it. Anyway, that has nothing to do with today's story. But today's story is about another food war that's happening in China right now. And I've never experienced a story like this in which one influencer, usually when you hear about influencers and restaurants, it just is gonna piss you off, okay? Because it's like, hey, you do pretty well for yourself. You don't need to be doing all of that to get a free appetizer. Like, it's just not that serious. Pay for your own food, tip your waiter. It's not that serious. But this is a whole different level. This is not an influencer who said, I want a free meal. This is not an influencer who said, do you know who I am? Well, he did do that. But this is the most batch crazy. It's almost as if one influencer, let's say I almost take down the Cheesecake Factory. That's the type of power we're talking about right now. But first I have to tell you about Xibei.
Xibei.
So there's this restaurant called Xibei. It's a huge chain in China. It's like the Cheesecake Factory. It's like, what's another huge chain here that's around? P.F. Chang's is kind of pricey. Cheesecake Factory is kind of pricey.
I don't know. Never been to P.F. Chang's. Never. Maybe I've been to Cheesecake Factory. I don't know if I have been. Like, everyone talks about the Cheesecake Factory in like movies and shows or whatnot, right? I don't know if I actually have been to the Cheesecake Factory. Question mark. I don't know.
It's not fast food. Well, you know what? These days Chipotle is getting crazy with their prices and their portions, but it's not like Chipotle prices. Like, you go there to have a sit-down meal. You might even have a birthday party there. So it's kind of like Cheesecake Factory,
California
Pizza Kitchen. I always call it Chicken Kitchen, okay? It's that level of food. But Xibei doesn't even market towards adults. They market towards the kids. They say, bring your kids in, because we have the healthiest kid menu that you've ever seen in a chain restaurant. Here's the thing about Xibei. They say, you go to any other freaking restaurant and you look at the kids menu, it's 3 things. It's gonna be like chicken nuggets and fries, butter
Sure.
noodles, and that's about it. Grilled
Butter noodles.
cheese. There's no real food for the kids. But Xibei said every order that you have, I mean, the kids menu is just as long as the adult menu. Everything is made fresh. Everything is so good. It's the highest material. It's organic, non-GMO. They do every single ad for this.
They're not like organic and non-GMO.
The kids menu is.
Oh, I see. Wow.
So they do a lot of advertisements about this. They'll do.
Is she saying non-GMO? Not to sound like dumb, but I don't know what that means. I would have to think about it. Yeah, I don't know what GMO means. I would assume it just means like no gluten, maybe no chemicals, nothing bad, question mark in it.
Family advertisements where the entire family is blindfolded. Do you see where I'm going with this?
No.
Could you imagine where I'm going with this?
No.
And they're all holding up their chopsticks in the air. It just says, order with your eyes closed. Every dish is delicious. It's
I don't know if it's like an acronym. Like, could it be like gluten, MSG, and what would the O be? If they're saying like none of these things are in it.
going with this.
No.
And they're all holding up their chopsticks in the air. It just says, order with your eyes closed. Every dish is delicious. It's just like every single advertisement. There's this whole advertisement where there's this little girl who's reading the menu at Xibei, and she's like, what does organic mean? And then the waitress is like, I'll show you, grabs her hand, takes her to the fields. Then she meets another girl who's the daughter of the farmer, and they're like, this is what organic means. We have to look for pests ourselves because we don't use harsh pesticides. And they have a magnifying glass and they see a ladybug, and I'm like, see, that's what would convince me to get into gardening. That's how I tried.
Speaking of pests, I'm really annoyed. Well, it hasn't been a problem recently, but like, because I'm eating broccoli on the regular, like every other day, like a whole head of broccoli, and I'm like cutting it up, and I'm like constantly finding caterpillar cocoons and caterpillars inside the cocoons and on the broccoli. I'm like, ugh. I'm assuming maybe they're not using pesticides, question mark, or if they are, they aren't working, because it's like gross to have to do, because the washing, it doesn't do anything, right? Because they're in, like they're deep into the like florets of the thing. It's not like the broccoli's eaten into, it's just like the caterpillars are getting into, like deep into the florets and then cocooning in there. And then they just somehow just are still chilling there, despite being, traveled from wherever they were, putting in refrigerator at the store, being in your refrigerator. It's like, oh, they're still there. And again, washing isn't not enough strength to get rid of them, so you have to like manually like wipe them off with like a napkin or something. And it's just like, ugh. I haven't had to deal with it, I think, the past 2, 3, or 4 broccolis that I've had, so maybe it was just a batch of broccoli, or maybe a certain store. I don't know if it was Walmart or H-E-B, because I don't remember which one they were from, but where they just had, I guess they just had a batch of broccoli that was just infested with caterpillars.
Try to get into gardening. And then I saw the real bugs that plants attract, and I was like, fuck no, okay? So they're like, we look for the pest. Every seed. Instead of buying 2 Barbie dolls, I bought this organic seed. And then they plant the seed together. And I was just like, this is cute, but also weird. And then the next one is like, this little kid is at the restaurant and is eating a lamb skewer because they're really big on lamb dishes. And she's like, why is this lamb so yummy? And the parents are like, because it's grass-fed lamb. And then it just takes you to see all the lambs. And I was like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? But they do that, okay? So with everything that Shibei has been promoting, your impression of the restaurant is certainly their food is going to be made fresh on the spot, prepared with the best ingredients. The brand positions itself as a family restaurant, so you're paying premium prices. Their pricing is at a level which it's kind of like Din Tai Fung prices.
Explain Din Tai Fung for people.
Okay, Din Tai Fung is a Taiwanese brand of food where you go there. There's locations in California and one in New York. I don't know anywhere else that has one. But you go and you sit down and you say, ooh, you know what? I do want an appetizer. Can I get the cucumber dish? $8, $8 for a fucking cucumber dish.
Tiny, but it's so good though. Stephanie's favorite.
Oh, well, just like full F word there. Are we in the arc of Stephanie not censoring because YouTube's kind of okay with you cussing?
Oh yeah, I didn't have to get up, okay? So then the waiter comes out.
video.
I think it was just like the accent they left it in. They left the F word in.
The waiter comes out. Oh yeah, I didn't have to get up, okay? So then the waiter comes out.
video.
Stop! Don't remind me, okay? Stop it right
I
now.
think everybody actually knows exactly what restaurant we were talking about.
I still cannot walk into a single Din Tai Fung without someone going, I've seen your videos eating Din Tai Fung. And I go, oh. Then the waiter pulls up with this tiny little, you know those like peach tree dishes that scientists use? Like that size. Of
Sure.
And it's precisely one mini Persian cucumber cut into different little slithers and then dipped in chili oil.
Just fancy food. Like, why would you ever waste your money on fancy food?
And I order it every single time. It's so good. Okay, it's Din Tai Fung prices. So I'm expecting that cucumber was farmed in the back of Din Tai Fung's owner's, founder's house. Like, I'm expecting this cucumber to be out of this world.
Didn't they say Din Tai Fung is like the highest grossing dollar restaurant in America? Like one of the locations like the most brings in the most revenue.
They make.
I mean, if you're charging like a ludicrous amount of money for something so small, you can get more profits, right? Because you're not wasting as much product per dollar.
So much money. They have pretty much robbed me and my family. My sister, every time she's in New York, the amount of Din Tai Fung she consumes, she goes on Xiaolongbao tours in New York. Okay, that's another story for another time, but it's bad. It's bad. Shibei is like the Din Tai Fung in China. It's not the same, but it's kind of the same. I think it's like Din Tai Fung, Shibei, Haidi Lao. They're all in that same sphere of they're in every single city. Everybody knows them, and everyone knows that when you go, you're not getting an affordable meal.
Literally never heard of them before.
But hopefully you're getting a good meal. But Shibei, even compared to Haidi Lao, is super expensive. Haidi Lao in the US, I think, is really expensive. But I think Haidi Lao in China is less expensive because when you get a kid's meal at Haidi Lao, I don't know why the kids aren't eating the hot pot, but if you get like a kid's meal, the hamburger, I don't know why they're getting hamburgers. You know what? I have so many questions, actually. Okay, but there's a Chinese hamburger that you can order at Haidi Lao.
Which is hot pot in China.
Yeah, it's a hot pot, so you would think it's something else. Like you would expect some sort of dry pot for the kids or something. But no, they get a hamburger on the kids' menu, and it's $1.28 if you use a coupon. Without the coupon, it's $4.25. But everybody uses coupons in China. Oh yeah, my researchers were telling me, you don't know what the coupon game is in China? They're like, oh my god, you're so dumb. So they're like, okay, let's say you come to China, the food delivery game.
I remember the coupon now when I was young.
What do you mean? Why you?
Because when you get a coupon, you actually save the coupon. Because that's your like future meal. Like it gives you the day you can enjoy this in the next 2 months. So you keep that coupon until you can afford the burger. So you go there, hand in the coupon, the money. Oh, I remember this now.
Wait, that's
they don't do that here?
They do, but the coupons in America are kind of ass. It's like, when you spend $50, you get 30 cents off. Huh? And I'm like, then I might as well not spend the $50 to get 30 cents off. But my researchers were telling me, it's not even just the coupons. Coupons and delivery systems are crazy. So they were saying in China right now, it's been a problem. All the food delivery apps. You know how Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash?
I never used any of these like food delivery things. Though, yeah, coupons are bad. I don't remember if they used to be like really good back in the day, though. On HEB.com, which is grocery store, by the way, if you didn't understand that when I mentioned it earlier. The coupons in there are sometimes okay. Like sometimes it'll be like $1 off. You don't got to do nothing. Are you buying this product? Yes. Well, then here's $1 off. Right. So sometimes they are just like straight discounts. It's not like buy 5,000 things, get $1 off. I mean, sometimes it's like that, but sometimes even then it's like, okay, right? Buy this thing and this thing that you were already going to buy together because they kind of just go together naturally. You would naturally buy them together, and they like get another item for free. Like you might have not wanted it, but you're already buying these other two things anyways, so you might as well just get a free item to go with the two things that you were going to buy no matter what, right? So, and it tangentially relates to the two things that you're going to buy anyways. So sometimes coupons are fine, right?
they're all a luxury in the US. Like I want to use it for every meal. It's like, oh, okay, like now you're paying for the delivery and tip as you should. You gotta tip the drivers. However, in China, I guess the major companies are in such a battle of who's gonna take over the delivery space that the deliveries are so quick and they're cheaper than if you were to go to the restaurant yourself. So people will actually do the thing where they get on the delivery app, redeem the coupons inside the restaurant, and then pick it up and take it to go.
Oh,
Because
I see.
they'll
give
see
you
the
discounts.
price, yeah, online on the delivery app, and then see it in person, and it's cheaper on the delivery app.
Wow.
Yeah, so they self-deliver. They self-deliver. It's been crazy, okay? Now, Haidi Lao, kids menu, $4.25, $1.28. Shibei, much more expensive. Much more expensive. You're talking about like at least $6 and then easily goes up.
And also, just so people know, $6 doesn't sound like a lot, but in China, times 7,
Yeah.
that's 42. Just imagine spending $42 on a kid's meal, like
Yeah.
literally, because that's kind of how much people make, and you know,
On a
great.
child.
Exactly.
I just have a question for parents out there. If you have a child and let's say you got a piece of delicious lobster and the best part is the top part of the lobster,
But no, haven't had lobster.
do you give it to your 2-year-old who doesn't appreciate the taste of lobster? Or do you consume it because that kid doesn't appreciate the taste of lobster yet? Well, maybe when they're 10, they'll appreciate it. Like,
Expose yourself.
I don't know.
I'm so curious about it because I see my sister and she's like saving all the good parts. And I'm like, hey, so I met your kids. They're gremlins and they'll eat like sticky rice off the floor. I think you should also enjoy some food once in a while. She's like saving all the pretty parts. I'm like, this is crazy. I've seen the way your kids eat. Okay. No, anyway, their food ranges around like $6 for a kid's meal. And the best comparison that I can give you is there's no comparison. It's just a solid restaurant, mid-range to high-end, and everybody comes and it's a good time. It's the family restaurant brand. And not to mention, when you go into Shibei, they give you an hourglass and they guarantee that all the dishes are going to be served before the hourglass ends. I don't know how much time is in that hourglass, but if it doesn't come in that time, you get your meal for half off.
Damn.
But September 10th, 2025, there's this influencer by the name of Lo. Now, Lo is a very interesting influencer because he looks like a middle-aged physics teacher. I don't know how else to describe
I
him.
didn't get to look at him.
He's got a
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, he does look pretty old.
build. He's got a physics teacher build and he wears glasses and his hair is like a little bit past the prime all the time. It's like every time you look in the mirror and you go, I should probably shower and wash my hair. That's how his hair is all the time. And I
he
love him for
talks
that.
just like a physics teacher too.
Yes.
With no, what is it?
No, his cadence is just pure monotone.
那个时候的作文你们也知道，是要今天跟我的学生同学。
But he's top string influencer.
Yeah, he is.
He's the speed of China.
He's I show speed of China, and this is how he looks and this is how he talks. And honestly, I think it's kind of endearing. But he goes onto Twitter, or like Weibo, which is Chinese Twitter, and he posts, "It's been a long time since I last ate at Shibei. After getting off the plane today, I had a meal there with my colleagues, and I realized almost everything was pre-prepared. And it was still so expensive. It's honestly disgusting. I really hope the government pushes legislation soon to require restaurants to clearly indicate whether they use pre-prepared food." Okay, let me give you
Okay, so they're not using like freshly grown stuff from out back. They're just using like what by pre-prepared. I'm assuming like frozen, mass-produced, let's say patties, for instance, like something you'd get at McDonald's or Burger King, etc., etc. Those Burger King claiming that their stuff isn't frozen. Let's say McDonald's, a frozen McDonald's patty that has been mass-produced, sitting in a refrigerator for 10 years.
you some context. There is also a war going on in China of pre-prepared food. This is a huge thing in China. So when you go into a restaurant, everyone is expecting you to get the wok flavor. They say that's why you go out to eat. You eat at home because you need it to be affordable and it's good. And sometimes you'll order food because it's cheap, but that you're expecting pre-prepared food. Pre-prepared meaning these restaurants are almost like ghost kitchens.
Okay.
They have a big distribution center. Yes.
Okay, I don't know if I need to explain the food dishes
Yeah.
that you eat
Yeah.
in China to people because when you go to eat at a restaurant, like it's not sesame chicken, right?
Okay.
It's a lot of dishes. It's a lot of different dishes,
Yes.
and you cook with fresh ingredients.
Yes.
So it's like you throw veggies and oil and you stir fry it. You know, chicken, like whatever. You stir fry it. Versus pre-produced food is almost like fast food because everything is kind of in a package.
Yes.
You dump it out of the package. You reheat it basically.
Oh, okay. So I guess the best comparison would be if you go to a fast food chain and you get a burger and that burger patty has been frozen and then they just heat it up, throw it on
Yep, exactly what I was saying.
the buns, put some sauce on
Which
it, put
is
some chopped
fine.
lettuce, which is fine. It's fine. But you're also expecting to pay the price of fast food.
Yes.
Because you're like, oh, I know the price. I know what I'm getting. Like, I know I'm not getting like a fancy cooked meal. It's fine as long as everybody knows, right?
Yeah.
But then if you go to a nice restaurant and they say, hey, I want $20 for this burger, I'm expecting
Yeah.
someone on the grill pressing my burger patty down, smashing it with his bare fist, adding an heirloom tomato on top. Like,
Why did you have like a drooling emoji there? Smashing with bare fists? What the heck? I don't know about that, Stephanie. I'm not even gonna go there.
expecting the highest quality burger that I've ever inserted into my mouth. That's what I'm expecting. And that is what's going on with Shibei. Or at least you would assume, until Lo, the influencer, comes around and he says pretty much everything in that restaurant has been pre-prepared. Meaning, if you were to order some sort of delicious broth, well, guess what? It's not delicious because he thinks it comes from the main kitchen, which is outsourced, and then they just heat it up at the store.
They microwave it.
They microwave
Definitely. How does he know this though? Right?
that shit. And he's like, what's
Was he like in the kitchen, or is he just making the assumption because he can just tell that it's pre-prepared?
from the the main kitchen, which is outsourced, and then they just heat it up at the store.
They microwave it.
They microwave that shit. And he's like, what's the difference of me just going to get ready to eat meals from the freezer section of the grocery store and then cooking it at home? It would be a lot cheaper. So he posts this all over Weibo and it starts going viral. And I just need to give you some context on Lo. And I think that Lo's life and career history is one of the most fascinating things that I've ever witnessed, because he is, at the end of the day, someone who fails at everything except being an influencer. I don't know how it worked out, but like he has failed everything else prior to that. Like he was actually considered one of the very first batch of influencers that made it to the spotlight.
So he's not a professor?
He's old, by the way. He's like
Oh yeah.
probably 50s.
Yeah, and he's like the Wang Sutong of the influencers, but just like very different. So he's clearly not as rich as Wang Sutong, although he's quite a very wealthy man, okay? Not nearly as rich, a little bit older, definitely, more nerdy, and he's got time. This man has time. So when Wang Sutong goes after other celebrities, he'll do a tweet and then he'll forget about it because he gets very busy buying his dog, I don't know, diamond-crusted watches, and then he'll remember.
Oh yeah, that just reminded me that he does love his dog, and the dog sitter again. The one and true woman for Wang Sutong is his dog sitter.
And then I'll come back to it and do another tweet. But this man takes time. If he doesn't like someone, he holds a press conference. I'm not even fucking kidding you. He's done this every single time he didn't like someone. He holds a press conference.
And people eat it up.
Yes, and people show up. It's not even him sitting there live streaming and eating dinner and being like, you know what, I will address the rumors. It's not like that. It's a press. There's a podium. There's people sitting in a line. It's a press briefing. I'm like, we need to do stuff like that more often. We need to do that here.
Do I need to do that for the haters? Question mark. Do I need to get into a suit? I don't have like a good mask. I did find my original, like Abomination 9 face mask, but I don't know. I need a new like thing to put on my head, I think, before I start doing weird stuff like that. But like, do I do like a full suit? Get a podium with, I mean, I already have a microphone that can hold my hand, like a microphone and everything. Just do a press conference about a fake press conference, because I can't do a real one, right? About these haters that leave hate comments. Is that what I need to do?
These like drama breakdowns anymore. I want everyone to have press conferences. I want it to be live streamed. I want a bunch of drama channels sitting as in the press pool. And then they're raising their hands asking questions. That's what I want. Could you tell me, are you Alex IX or EX? Like, I need that in a press conference format. I don't want interviews. I want a press conference. So that's what he does. And this man actually started off as an English teacher. So the fact that he can understand this entire video is sending me into a different dimension. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that you were nerdy.
He does look like a teacher. No wonder he carries himself like a teacher.
Yeah, and he blew up on the internet because people said that he was very comedic in his teaching.
Really?
Yeah, and then that's when it clicked for me. That you and I grew up so differently.
Oh, because that's like my English teacher?
No, because like I watched the clips that went viral of him where he's like making jokes, and I'm like, this is the most boring class I've ever been in. And
really?
so, and then like, oh, I guess most classes are very serious in China. So he has a very laid back style where he likes to tell stories as he teaches, which
Yeah, he's sort of the cool teacher, right?
I feel like is a very common thing in the US. But
Yeah.
He's like you know, when you watch those TikTok videos of the stand-up comedians who post their own stand-up sets because nobody else will post them, and like it's good enough that you'll watch it until the end, but you're not like cackling.
You're not hearting it.
And you're not like sending it to your friends. You're just like, okay.
All right.
And then you swipe, and then it's a dog, and then you're like, ah, and then you swipe, and it's hockey, and then you're like, KyuuTea? You know, like it's just one of those things, and that's him. So the lectures go viral because everyone's like, this guy is so funny. I don't hear a single laugh in the audience, but they're like, this guy is so funny. So then he starts teaching English online, and then he gets listed as one of the top 10 influencers in China in 2005.
As a teacher, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's like, I'm gonna leave teaching and really spread my wings. So he creates his own business called Blog.
Blog?
It's spelled B-U-L-L-O-G.
Blog.
Blog. He wanted it to be Reddit. So it was a blog. Okay, and after a few years, it went bankrupt.
I mean, that makes sense. Like, of course, it's not going to stick around. No way.
Website shut down. Then he started an English tuition center called Lo and His Friends English Academy, and that also failed. And then in 2012, he decided that he was going to make smartphones. I don't know what's happening with this guy. So then he created a brand called Smartisan, a smart artisan. He said, this is going to beat Apple. You don't even know. He went bankrupt, and he was 8 figures in debt, USD. He was like $10-20 million in debt. And then he had an air purifier. Okay, I had multiple people fact check this because when a researcher was telling me about it, and I was like, are you just making shit up right now? Because that would make me upset. And she was like, no, I swear. And I low-key didn't believe her. I'm so sorry. So then I asked somebody else, and I was like, can you just fact check that for me? Because it doesn't make sense. And they're like,
That does seem kind of mean. Like, oof for that researcher.
no, it's real. So he started a humidifier company called Jose Tronco. I don't know what the fuck.
Jose Tronco?
Yeah, and he also had a sound system company that he called David and Shelly.
Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kind of just seems like he's just like shotgun blasting in, like, at a wall and hoping something sticks. Like hoping he actually hits something that just makes him money. Just trying anything. You know, again, like if you throw a bunch of darts at a board, you'll eventually hit something, right?
Makes like different electronics.
Yeah, but why would he name it David and Shelly? Who are David and Shelly to him? Who's Jose?
I think sometimes
What?
sometimes what they would do,
Yeah.
you make it sound foreign.
So that people want to pay for it.
Yeah,
It's like a foreign brand.
that's what I assumed.
Yes, maybe that's what he was
Yeah,
doing.
yeah. You want to make it sound exotic.
Yeah, so David and Shelly was the sound system. He also made an electronic cigarette brand called Wild, VVILD. I don't know, a suitcase company. All of these.
What happened to like electronic cigarettes, by the way? I know we have vapes, right? The same thing, but electronic cigarettes, like nearly 20 years ago, were kind of cool. Not to use the word cool. Again, I'm very anti-smoking. Anything. Anti-mind. What would I say? Anti. I don't know. Why can't I think of like what I would say that like anti-consciousness manipulation? We'll just refer to it as because I don't know how else to describe it right now. I'm very anti about that, but I'm not going to be one of those people who doesn't think that smoking looks cool, right? Because that propaganda worked, right? You kind of just are. If you were around back then for, well, not even back then. It's like it's been that way for decades and decades and decades, like a century of them trying to make cigarettes cool or make it look cool. Like even in like the 90s or whatever, they're still trying to make cigarettes seem cool, right? So all that propaganda from like a century kind of just sticks. So I feel like a lot of maybe people now, maybe they don't think that's the case because it is gross, right? It is gross. It kills you, etc., etc. But it still looks cool. I still am someone's going to admit like it still looks cool to some extent. That's just because of the propaganda, right? Like don't get me wrong, it is because of the propaganda that just screws you over as a child. But I feel like electronic cigarettes used to look cool because they looked like a cigarette, but just a machine, right? But now like vapes are boxes and like weird tubes and whatnot. Like, does that look cool? I mean, the flat ones that look like a really flat pencil. You know what I'm talking about? There's like pencils that are elongated and like stretch out width-wise, but are still the same width height-wise. Well, not width. I should say width is not the right word. They're the same length for the height, but their width is like 3-4 times the width. Like there's vapes that look like that. Like maybe those look cool, but I don't know. There was something about electronic cigarettes 20 years ago that I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like it's just a cigarette. It looks like a cigarette. It just is a machine instead. And that's a good way, like, again, more propaganda, right? I could have easily fallen for the electronic cigarettes from 20 years ago. Like you're not making me fall for vapes now. But I mean, I'm just too old for that, right? Because I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that stuff. I've never done any of that stuff to an extreme extent. But again, like the cigarettes from 20 years ago, they might have gotten me if things had gone the wrong way, because they were all in the malls, right? The kiosks at the malls in between everything, trying to sell you on these electronic cigarettes, and they would come up to you and they talk to you about the cigarettes, and it's like, I mean, they look cool.
Failed. It was at this point where he was named the industry death lamp because everything he touches just dies. But then in 2020, he decides, let me just try live streaming really quick. He paid off all his debt through like, on live stream. And then he's
moving the mic there.
Where it's called Be Friends Holding Limited. I don't know what his obsession with English is. And then successfully listed it in China. I think
He went public?
Yeah.
Well, isn't he an English teacher? So I mean, it just makes sense, right? Was an English teacher.
There was one live stream where I think he had $14 million in sales of products in one live stream. I think there was another one where he broke $25 million sold in a live stream.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fucking...
I think it's
Couldn't be me.
Oversell things. He's just like a dad selling shit. And you're like, you know what, Mr. Lowe? I think I will buy that. Because he's just like, it's just okay, you know? So if you want it, it's okay. I mean, the price is okay, so what you're going to get is okay. So, okay. You're like,
Okay.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. I guess I'll buy that. But one thing I will say that has never changed is his constant popularity. People like him. People like that he's a knockoff Wang Zitong. People like that he's very honest. And that I will say, he is dependable. I feel like if I had a problem, I could go to him. I think that he would be quite judgmental about my problem, but I think he would help me fix it. That's the vibe he gives. Let me give you an idea. There is the Simons, the refrigerator company.
Siemens.
Why'd you look at me like I was crazy when I said Siemens?
Siemens.
Okay. Siemens. And he was like, no, it's a Chinese brand. I was like, I've never heard this brand. And he's like, it's a Chinese brand. And I was like, really? It doesn't sound Chinese. I Google it. It's like a German brand. And he goes, oh, no, but we all have it in China. And I said, okay. So then the Siemens refrigerator and washing machine, they sell a bunch of household appliances. And he goes online and he's like, hey, listen up, Siemens. I got your refrigerator. I got your washing machine. And both of them have broken down one after another. I would never buy this unlucky brand ever again. Let me tell you something. He says, 9 times out of 10, I close my refrigerator door. Then I walk away. And then I come back, it's popped open by itself. And my little goes, why is my refrigerator door not closing properly? He's getting pissed off. He posts this, tags Siemens. It gets reposted. It receives over 1,000 comments with people saying, I have the same problem.
We had the problem at our old place with a refrigerator doing that, but it was so old. So it had been there the entire time I had been lived there, which is a long time. I'm not going to tell you how long. It was a long time. Right. So that would make sense. Or we're just saying that this product just immediately just breaks down. The magnets in the door do not work after like 2 seconds.
My refrigerator door keeps popping open. So then he's like, you know what? I've decided to hold a press conference. So then he has a press conference. He's an influencer.
Yeah.
He's having a press conference where he's taking down Siemens. He's like, let me read you of all the anecdotal stories that everybody has. And then he's saying things like, you know, your company sells IQ 100 series refrigerators. Why the f are you naming it that when he can't even keep its door closed? Like, he's aggressive. This man is aggressive, monotone. Everything is monotone. He's not even passionate.
But he's dissing. Like
He's like, why would you call it IQ 100 series refrigerators? I really don't have the time or energy to deal with everyone on the whole internet, but for the people leaving comments under this post, we gotta resolve their issues as soon as possible. Otherwise, bear the consequences yourself, Siemens. Are you seriously calling this IQ 100? That's the vibe he gives me. And it's just like, I feel like I did something wrong, okay? Underneath that post, everyone is just like voicing their problems. Siemens doesn't respond. For months, he's going at it, press conference after press conference after press conference. He's talking to major news publications. He's going out there interviewing himself and other people. Like, he's doing all of it. Even then, Siemens is not reporting anything. He's going into electronic stores. He's talking to Siemens employees, and all of them are kind of bratty. I don't know why. That pisses him off some more. He gets extra pissed off at that. Like, why are you treating me like I'm dumb? So then what does he decide?
I would assume like maybe they had been told, hey, this guy is launching this campaign of hatred towards. If you see this guy, you need to be like really mean to him. Like, maybe that's why they're being quote unquote bratty. I don't know what she means by that. Like, we'd have to see the video if there is any like video evidence of them acting or behaving this way. But I'd assume they might do that. Like, they would tell all the stores, hey, be wary of this man specifically. Here's a picture of him. Here is content about the guy, whatever, right? And then try to make sure that everybody knows in the, I don't know how far we want to go, in the areas of China where this is taking place, that, hey, be wary of this man.
He has another press conference, but this time outside of the Siemens headquarters in Beijing. And this is actually like quite poetic, but they had lined up 3 Siemens refrigerators, and he's got a mallet, and he just starts beating it to a pulp. And then this is when all the news stations are like, we gotta go! So then they show up and
that's
they're
like
recording
the Rimowa fire.
The Rimowa drama is crazy right now. There's this guy who got a Rimowa suitcase, and they're like freaking expensive. Okay, like the big metal one, I think it's like, I don't know, like $2,000. And it was open on the baggage claim. Open! And he said this is the 3rd time it's happened. He's like lighting the Rimowa suitcases on fire. All these different brands are getting involved.
Haven't heard of this yet.
Yeah.
I think even like a condom brand got involved.
What?
Wrap it up, pack it up, I don't know, right? So lots of people are getting involved, except for Rimowa. What are they doing? But they even hold up a sign, like protest. So they beat up the refrigerators, and then they all sit and take like a class photo outside the Siemens headquarters. And it's actually like really sweet. Okay, the sign says, kindly request that Siemens admit their issues and solve the refrigerator door issue. And everyone's just like smiling. So the sheer drama, the sheer bizarreness creates such a buzz online that a few days after smashing the 3 refrigerators, he holds another press conference, and it feels so official. There's like presentations, there's slideshows, there's a mic that he's fidgeting with, and it's not working right. He's got a clicker and everything, okay? So he's like, let me show you. From the image above, you can see that this one refrigerator has a white component on the door, while this one does not. That small component is what helps the door close properly. And he explains that these 2 brand new refrigerators he had just purchased, and even offered to show the media the receipts. Clearly, the quality control was off, and something had gone wrong because that white part is gone.
Is that the bad one? Because it's not closing shut, right? It's bouncing when it hits the thing. I mean, he is like flinging it down, but I think even so, like if you have a decent refrigerator, if you fling it down, it's going to magnetize down. It's not gonna, or suction cup, whatever the heck it is that happens, right? It's going to stay closed.
So the whole point of a refrigerator is to keep the door sealed and maintain a stable temperature. If the fridge can't even keep its door shut well enough to stay cold, then what's the point of a refrigerator? But for months,
yeah, it's just bouncing up.
Did not provide us consumers with.
I feel like it has no seals on it that keep it closed.
Did not offer a formal apology. And everyone's like, trying to put sunglasses on him, you know, in the press conference. Like, people are loving this shit. And so he goes around and he's doing more press conferences until finally the president of and the CEO of Siemens China had to issue a formal apology. They had to set up a special hotline. And
it's a white guy, unless it's German, right? She said it was German, so I'm guessing this is a German guy.
Dedicated Weibo account to assist anyone experiencing issues. They also offered free on-site inspections for those who needed it, and they could install a door closer at no cost. But it wasn't just Siemens. Okay, this guy goes against everybody. Another notable fight was he got into a fight with the CEO of Zealer. Zealer is like a huge tech and lifestyle content platform that was like founded by this guy named Wang. This is back when he had his Smartisan phone. So the Wang guy doesn't like the Smartisan phone, reviewed it, and was like, hey, so it's ass. So then he was like, you know what? I'm gonna fly to your city, and we're gonna have a press conference debate. So they sit down and do a full debate. They said that this is the closest thing that China has had to a presidential debate. That's what a lot of people were saying. Okay, yeah, they were saying it was fucking cutthroat. Other media outlets.
What, do they not have debates between their politicians, or is Xi Jinping, what is his name? Is something like that, right? Has he just been in power for so long that there is no one to debate? Like, I don't know if he just has a permanent seat as whoever he is, whatever his role is in China. Question mark. Like, can he be contested, or he just gets to be his seat of power forever, right? Just like kind of like Putin. Question mark? Because Putin never loses, and he's been in power for a long time now. But that's more of like a dictatorship, right? Because anybody who wants to win against Putin ends up dead. But I mean, that's neither here nor there, right? Is it like that, or is it just like they just don't do that in China?
Like Forbes were even saying this was the closest thing that China had to a presidential debate. That's not me saying that, okay? That was them. And Lo does not come. Like, this man does not come to a fist fight with his fist. He doesn't even come to a fist fight with a knife. He comes to a fist fight with a fucking F-13 fighter jet and a tanker and drone bombs. Okay, this guy is so insane. He did not bring a PowerPoint because I think the logistics of setting up a PowerPoint, maybe the other guy, Wang, didn't want it. So he had printed out giant flashcards that were twice the size of his body, and he was flipping through them one by one, just going completely overboard, confronting this guy in person.
So he won?
Yeah. So, I mean, his phone sucked ass. So the review was valid, okay? But he won the debate. He won the debate because he's that crazy. He'll have headers on his PowerPoint. Incorrect facts. Then he'll put it down and list all the incorrect facts.
So he's a debater. He's like he can.
Debater.
That's why he's good,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He had another one that just said slander. And then he went on to say that Wang is a slander. And then he said Wang's company has been receiving funding from big tech companies recently. So there's incentive for him to want to shut down a new company that's creating similar things that would be competing in the market against those other companies. He also said, don't talk about being an independent bitch when you're just a fucking whore. I'm not even kidding. He didn't say it like that. He didn't
I was going to say, like, what? There's no way, right, that he phrased it that way.
say it like that. But he basically said it. We read in between the PowerPoint slides. We read the lines. He told him, don't talk about being an independent, thought-provoking person when you've got a sugar mama. So it turns out, people were like, he's just saying stuff at this point. He's just calling him a little skank with no evidence. Turns out there are rumors that he was dating one of the CEOs of one of the biggest tech companies, and she was funding his lifestyle.
So there was like a secret scandal that was uncovered from this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dong Minju?
Dong Mingju?
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Who is she?
I don't know.
Compare her to someone, like a Mark, like a GF.
I don't know, like Oprah Winfrey? I don't know.
What?
Oprah Winfrey.
I just know she's old and rich.
Oh, okay. okay, yeah, that's valid.
Like, I mean, that's all I know. When you hear that name, that's all I know.
Okay, founder of, or CEO of Gree Electronics. Have you heard of Gree Electronics?
No.
Okay,
Probably
so
maybe some kind of
like an old rich lady.
super rich.
Yeah.
old,
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, of course, both parties have denied such rumors, but he just got his ass wrecked. He just wiped the floor with him and then left with his smartphone. That's what Lo did. And Lo would even publicly say, like, as someone who holds grudges. That's what he says. He's like, look, I am someone who holds grudges. I never let any sort of thing go unpunished if I feel like I've been slighted. I also have a super highly aggressive personality. I've never lost an argument online. I've been through years of trials and tribulations. I just want everyone to know that my mind is so open-minded and broad that all of the enemies that I've made throughout my life could all fit in my mind and I would still find it suspicious. He said there would still be so much room left.
Oh man, that's so good.
But out of every single person that he's battled, he said there's one fight that he's lost to a Starbucks barista.
What?
Bro.
There's a
Why?
viral video of him slapping himself in Starbucks because he's getting very confused by the sizes of like the tall
Okay,
grande
let me
venti.
tell people.
Yeah.
So there's this video. I don't really know what that video like started from, but he walked into Starbucks. He's like, I would like, you know why?
yeah.
Because I relate to him.
Why do you relate to him?
Because I still don't know the size difference.
I want to read what's being said in the back here.
He said there's one fight that he's lost
Oh,
to
yeah?
a Starbucks barista.
bro.
There's a viral
Hello, give me a medium latte. Let me mute this because it's going to hear them talking. Is this what you want? The medium? I'm sorry, sir, this is a large. This is a medium. Aren't these small, medium, and large cups? I want this one, the medium. Sorry, sir, that's a large. That's a medium. That's a medium, and extra. There's a medium, large, and extra large. Where they're small, right? Aren't they like dumb names, too? Right? Well, not dumb names, but like grande and whatnot. They're trying to be fancy using different languages for the names. I don't know if they actually are like that, or if you have to say that, or you could just say small, medium, large, extra large. I don't care what you call it. I just want whatever is the medium of these 3 sizes. Sorry, sir. This is a large. Like, why does it matter? He just said he wants the one that's in the middle. Just give him the one in the middle.
Relate to him.
Because I still don't know the size difference.
We don't drink Starbucks anymore, but I know what you mean. Yes, okay, continue.
Yeah, so you go into Starbucks.
I mean, neither do I. I mean, I've never drank. I've never really drunk Starbucks. Like, maybe I've had one in my lifetime. I don't know. Like, as a kid, just to be like, oh, I'm so cool, have coffee. But just like with alcohol, I don't like coffee. It doesn't taste good. But that's like regular coffee, I guess. I mean, I guess the Starbucks is supposed to make coffee taste really good, but I don't know. I'm just not about that life. I'm about that water life, right? I'm an OG water drinker. I'm an OG water drinker. I'm just trying to be silly, right? But I'm on the hill that if you have been drinking coffee every day, or at least on the regular for a long time, probably most likely since you were a teenager, because they try to make it look cool so you can get addicted to it, that you become, quote unquote, I just said addicted to it, and then cannot function without it, right? I don't drink coffee. I only drink water, typically. I very rarely stray from that, and I don't feel tired, typically, or exhausted or anything on the regular. And I'm attributing that to the fact that I have not been drinking coffee every day since I was a teenager, right? I've maybe had 10 coffees over my lifespan. Maybe. I feel like saying 10 is pushing it, right? So I just think if you keep drinking coffee, your body eventually requires it to function, right? Because you kind of like screwed your body up into needing it as energy when it should just be producing the energy by itself. I don't know. That's just me. That's just my opinion. Question mark.
He said, I would like the medium-sized cup. And the barista is smiling. She never stopped smiling. She said, we have 3 cups. This is, what's the size? Grande?
Tall, grande, venti.
Tall, grande, venti.
Yeah, venti. There's different names like venti, grande, whatever. When you think of venti, you just think venti from freaking Genshin Impact.
But in Chinese, basically it's like, it starts with medium, large, and extra large. He said, out of these 3, I want the medium one.
The middle one.
Yeah, she's like, this one is large. This one is medium. He's like, but out of these 3, I want the medium one. She's like, this one is a large. The other one is the medium. So this go back and forth a few more times, and he's just start to slap himself.
And now people just use the meme of him slapping himself when they're just
No, teacher low. Come on, teacher low.
befuddled by any sort of conversation or behooved or anything is blasphemous, you're using that slapping meme. Which, by the way, Starbucks, also, everyone needs to chill out. But Starbucks, aside from the news that they've already been in, the CEO recently said, the reason that you're getting a $9 drink from us is for the experience. And everyone said, what?
The experience of what? I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't go to Starbucks, but the experience of what? Having someone just give you a drink? What experience are you experiencing at Starbucks? I don't know. You can let me know in the comments because I don't know what the heck they're talking about. Question mark. And again, with that, how that was worded, like she's just messing with him, right? Because he said, I don't care which one's whatever, right? I just want this one out of the 3. Like I want the medium out of these 3. And she's like, I would be annoyed too.
Will you pay $9 for experience?
Yes. And everyone's like, are we talking about the same fucking experience that every American has probably experienced in their lives one too many times and it was not a spectacular experience? That's crazy. Have you seen the library cafes that have been popping up in a lot of cities? I think there's one in Atlanta too now. I know there's a lot in New York, but they have a whole bookshelf of books and you can read them for as long as you're inside the cafe. And you can probably get like a $5 drink and stay there for 3 hours. So talk to me later about experience. Anyway. Lo posted this whole paragraph about Shibei, how he and his colleagues went there, everything tasted like prepackaged food. Now, am I a PR person? No, but I think everyone with half a mind would tell Shibei, don't address this. Like, it's not a big deal unless, I mean, do you feel like this is such a big deal that you want to come out and refute this? Like, what's going on, right? Shibei could have just done nothing and nobody would have thought about it twice because it's
So
just
his complaint is like, I went into this very high-end restaurant, like I haven't been back for so long. Turns out everything in there, you pay premium price for fast food.
But the reason that people didn't think that Shibei should have responded is he didn't even phrase it like that. He was just saying everything tastes like prepackaged food. So it's like, I mean, that's just a subjective opinion. It's not a crazy accusation of like, I went into the kitchen or I...
Yeah, it's not actually right. It's subjective, right? I always confused. It's a subjective opinion. It's not an objective fact. Question mark.
saw someone doing something crazy in the back kitchen. It was just like, it tastes like shit.
Yeah.
and it was expensive and it tastes like ass. So it's like, okay, his followers are going to see that and probably won't go, but I don't think Shibei needs to respond is how a lot of Chinese netizens were feeling. But then you have to realize that the CEO of Shibei, his name is Jia Guolong. Jia Guolong. Okay, we're going to call him Jia. And he has a personality that I would say is nearly identical to Lo. Like, they are two peas in a pod, two boobs in a bra. Like, they are the same person. I'm the same. That's it, okay? So they're both headstrong debaters. They don't know when to stop. They just grab a knife and they start stabbing, and then it's too late when they look down and they stab their own leg 10 times. Like, you're like, why did you do all of that? This clash was gonna become inevitable. The entire drama takes up the whole month of September 2025. Influencers are getting pissed off because they're like, did you not just see I broke up with my boyfriend? Hello? Hello? But no, everyone's like, let me see these two middle-aged men spar it out online over food.
Oh, an ad. Still the Prime. Still getting those Prime ads. I always say Prime ads. I'm still getting those Prime dollar bills. So Amazon.com/Prime. And again, it's just the standard Amazon.com/Prime. Is there a second one, or is it just it's just that one? Can we get it on the screen somewhere? No. Again, just Amazon.com/Prime. You know, just straight up pay to talk about. Again, when I talk about her getting these types of ads, right? If it's not an affiliate link with these, they just give her like a flat sum and it's like, hey, talk about our service for like a split second.
Absolutely priceless. Say yes to the moments that don't wait. Visit Amazon.com/Prime
There it
to
is.
find millions of items delivered fast. Same day delivery. It's on Prime. Available in select areas. Terms apply. So Shibei's boss responds. On that same day, Lo made the post. A media reporter had called one of Shibei's like press outlets to inquire about the issue, and the worker notified them that at their location, all the beef is made in the morning that day. Their noodles are hand.
I feel like a lot of the stuff, if you see this, if you have tryptophobia, whatever it's called, like you see this and you're like, oh my God, you're just dead, right? Which I have like slight tryptophobia that like, this isn't bothering me, but I could see how just looking at this would like kill somebody. Like if you have hard tryptophobia, you probably have your eyes closed right now because you do not want to see this.
Pulled. All their vegetables are delivered fresh to the store, made to order. And then Jia comes out and he tells the interviewers, after I saw Lo's Weibo post, I immediately booked a flight to Beijing. You know, my family had all gone to sleep. I was so angry I couldn't fall asleep. It was like 3 a.m. I was downstairs by myself. I had grilled skewers. I ordered a bottle of alcohol. I was smoking a cigarette and I was really thinking about it. I'm like, we don't need all that. Like this is, imagine the CEO of Cheesecake Factory giving us his life story like this. I would be like, whoa.
I pour myself a glass of whiskey.
I got super high and that's why we have 50 cheesecake flavors. Like, what's happening right now? Then they go to the same Shibei location where Lo had eaten and he starts making several statements to the press and even customers who are now recording. And he said, you know, September 10th, I have this all written down. Lo, 4 friends walk in, order a total of 15 dishes.
So he's talking to the reporter right
Yeah.
now. It's not a press conference, right?
No, it's not a press conference.
He's just chatting with a reporter
Yeah.
with an iPhone recording, right?
Yeah, and he's giving me the energy of your father. You know what I mean? And I mean that with love. But like your dad is not the most press-ready man.
Yeah.
He will look into a camera and say, what the fuck? You know, and that's Gia. And I love that for him, okay? So he's just looking into the cameras and he's like, listen, let me tell you what happened. Lo and 4 friends, 5 of them, they walk into the store and this is around 2:30 p.m. He's setting the scene. They order 15 dishes. They finish their meal in about an hour. I mean, they're ravenous. They're eating the food. And then they left only 2 dishes unfinished. And then after paying, you know, the staff even asked them, how was your meal? And they said, not bad, which is pretty good, right? So then the servers asked if they want to collect their reward points. And they're like, yeah, let me give you my reward account. They
What is that?
get the reward points. Then they
I guess it's just like a standard reward point account or whatever. It's not like something special. It's just something these companies might just have here and there. You know, like Best Buy, right? Best Buy might have something like that. Or maybe they did. I don't know. Or like old school GameStop. I don't think GameStop still has that, right? Like what was it called for GameStop? The reward system with them. They had some sort of name for it. I don't remember. I probably have like a card or something laying around from GameStop, from that era of GameStop, but I couldn't tell you what it's called.
They leave. Now, about the 2 unfinished dishes, let me tell you what those 2 dishes were, right? So it was the scallion and ginger grilled fish and the tender grilled lamb chops. They didn't finish the scallion and ginger grilled fish and the tender grilled lamb chops. Why? Because those 2 dishes always take longer to serve. So they're usually the last ones at the table. So they were served last. And like I said, when our employees asked how was the meal, they said not bad, not bad. They took their reward points and after an hour, they left. And then they say everything from Shibei is pre-prepared. It's so disgusting. None of our food is pre-prepared. Every dish has its standard cooking process. How the ingredients come, some are from the central kitchen. You know, some are sent to the store when they're frozen and defrosted and further prepared. Some go into the oven, some go into the seasonings, others go through the cooking process. Every dish has its own standards. So starting tomorrow, here's what I'm gonna do. And this is when you should.
He got too excited.
Yeah, he saw all the cameras pointed at him and he said, baby. This is why I think you need to run by every single idea to at least 3 different people. I genuinely think that's the only marriages that I've seen work. is you have someone, one person is very impulsive and the other person is like, no, absolutely not. You're not doing that. That's it. When you have two impulsive people, it's not going to work. They're going to light the world on fire. You've got two people who are like, absolutely not. You're not doing that. They're kind of boring. And I don't think he's getting that from anyone because he's got a big head. So he says, starting tomorrow.
Yeah, like waiting for her to get to this point. So loses 600 million in a month. Are they like actually going to legitimately make food for real now? Right, because it actually was pre-prepared before, and now he's going to try to prove that it's all real by having everything be real, thus losing more than $500 million in a month.
We will open all 370 locations nationwide, and I am going to give you full transparency and access to our kitchens, everyone.
What, anyone can just walk into every single kitchen and just do whatever they want? That's not a good idea, since that's going to be a health safety violation up the wazoo, right? There's germs everywhere, hair everywhere, who knows what. Health safety violation times 300, however many businesses that you have. That is nope, not a good idea.
You on the internet who has never washed your hand, who wears shoes that have
Yep.
dog shit caked on the bottom, come into our
Yep.
and see it for yourself. I don't know how that's sanitarily allowed. Like the health department rolling over in their graves. But he's like, every
Again, health safety violation. All these stores are going to get shut down. These restaurants are going to get shut down.
single person is welcome. That is how we will clear up the issue that we are not having pre-prepared dishes. What are you guys talking about? So look it up yourself. Come, everyone come, one come, all come. We're all coming together. It's heated rivalry, heated kitchenry, heated cook, heated... You know what's not heated? None of their food, okay? So then people they take that seriously because this blows up on the
The
internet.
next day, every TikTok is like,
Yes, every influencer, every TikToker, every live streamer, everyone who doesn't even have a TikTok account makes a TikTok account and they're running to Shibei. They're like, this is the best shit that we've ever seen. Now, none of these chefs that are working in any of these locations are responsible for their boss's actions. And none of them, I will tell you, not a single one of them was prepared. I don't even think there was a company-wide email that was sent out. I think a lot of these people got off their shift late.
That's what I was saying earlier, that the company-wide email is what I meant when earlier when he was getting employees being bratty to him, like low with the refrigerator stuff. I was saying like a company-wide email was sent to everybody to be like, hey, watch out for this man.
Laid in bed to brain rot and then saw their boss saying that and said, what the fuck are we doing tomorrow? That's what I think happened. They're on doing scrolling. So then people start coming into the kitchens. Reporters are coming in, camera crews are coming in, and there are just multiple videos that go viral within moments of Shibei opening their locations across the nation because you've got a lot of confused chefs. And they mean well. Like, they're so likable, but they're fucking confused. They don't know why you're here. They think they're famous now. So they just start answering questions they don't know the answers to.
what?
Let me explain. Okay, so
I want to see some video proof of this.
one of the first viral moments that comes out is, I know you guys are crazy about your broths. The way that his mom brings over a chicken broth, and she's like, I've been stewing this for the past 48 business days. You drink every last drop. And I go, yes, ma'am. Like, you guys brew this broth for ages. She's like, this is broth from our ancestors. I'm like, yes, ma'am, I'm drinking it. And then the chicken, she's like, you don't even need to eat the chicken in the chicken broth. And I say, but why? It's chicken in the chicken broth. And she goes, the broth has all the nutrients. There are mushrooms I've never seen inside this chicken soup. It's so good. It's so delicious. So
Why? Is it because it's been fermenting for so long? She just said like 48 days. It's been fermenting for so long. It's grown its own brand new species of mushroom from just sitting there rotting for so long.
So then one of the chefs is like, yes, come in, come in. He looks very confused. He also looks like he just got the job. So and everyone's pointing the iPhones at him and he looks starstruck. He doesn't know which camera to look at. So he's kind of doing the thing when you take family pictures and you're like alternating between cameras and talking. So he's looking at the camera and he's like, yeah, so I started the slow cooked chicken broth this morning, and they're like, oh, let me go look. Now, slow cooked chicken broth almost has this like white color because you've been stewing it for so long. It's like all that gelatin, all that collagen. It's like that. That's the amazing part of it. So then they're looking at it, and someone's like, yeah, can you just like go through the soup and show us what's inside? Just broth. So they're like, wait a minute, how do you just have broth? How did you make chicken broth without the chicken? Did you throw away the chicken? Where's the chicken? Right? He's like, no, I add the chicken later. So then they're like, wait, what do you mean you add the chicken later when it's chicken broth? Because you had to cook the broth using the chicken. That's how you get the chicken broth. And he goes, no. Okay, so I get this plastic bag and it has chicken broth in there. I cut it with scissors and then I put it in there and then I slow cook it. How long does it take?
Oof. I mean, it's just literally admitting that he is using pre-prepared food, right? He just has a plastic bag, just has a broth in it already, just dumps it in there and just cooks it, right? I mean, it's not his fault, right? It's the owner's fault that this happened. He's just talking to some people who ask him questions because he just thinks it's the right thing to do, right? Not his fault whatsoever.
Take you to slow cook that. 6
Because how is he supposed to know that that this is secret information that cannot be let out? I mean, CEO really screwed up. He shouldn't have said, "Hey, come check all of our businesses. They all make food for real," right? Knowing very well that they do not make food for real.
I cut it with scissors, and then I put it in there, and then I slow cook it. How long does it take you to slow cook that? 6 minutes. So everyone goes, how can you say you slow cooked it when it's only been on the stove for 6 minutes? And then there are so many times where these poor chefs get asked questions by these TikTok influencers, and they all just look blank. And they all look like, what the fuck? That's a good point. So then he's just like, they're like, so then where's the chicken? And he's like, oh yeah, let me go get that. So then he brings out another plastic bag. And it says,
Plastic bag full of chicken. Oof.
frozen, fully cooked, pre-prepared food. On the bag. Pre-prepared food. On the bag. Expiration date in 9 months. So then he's like, this is the chicken.
I feel like this boss has never seen how his food is made. Someone like him. Someone.
It's just so ridiculous, right? Though I wish I could have seen the video like that she's quoting. I would have loved to have seen that. Just actually seeing this play out in real life.
Someone told him something and he took it to heart. Someone said, our food is fresh.
No, he just watched the ads for the company. He's like, ah.
Oh, yeah. That lamp right there?
Yes.
Organic.
We brought the
Wouldn't they be like brought out of business because of this? Like, wouldn't they be sued for false advertising and then lose more than 600 million? Right? They would lose everything. No, because this is like a nuclear bomb of misinformation.
lamb alive to the kitchen, actually. So then he was like, the chef is like, no, it's not like prepackaged food, because it literally says prepackaged food. And he goes, it's we call it like a semi-finished product.
Semi-finished products? Is that what I just heard? Semi-finished product.
Semi-finished. Which again, nothing's wrong with this. You just expect to pay cheaper prices. Like you're not expecting to pay $30 to get your broth out of a bag. Okay, that's crazy.
I think also their marketing. They keep
Yes.
saying it's like fresh, 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 fresh.
Oh, and then he points at a pile of frozen desserts.
Frozen desserts? Well, I mean, it's desserts, so that's fine.
Are these fresh? And he goes, no, it came here frozen. But like they're cooked, and we serve
What do you mean cooked? I'm thinking ice cream, but maybe they talk about like pies or something, right?
them when they're fresh. And he's like showing all the kitchen stuff, and he's like, so this is the grilled fish, but it's frozen right now. The skewers, we get them pre-marinated. So are they frozen? Yeah. Okay. So he's just like doing a whole tour, and it's progressively getting worse and worse and worse. And then
But does he know that it's getting bad, or is he just giving them the full rundown of what's going on, like how things are cooked, but he doesn't actually know that he's giving them information that he shouldn't be giving them?
they're like, well, how many dishes do you have on the menu? Oh, we serve around like 60 types. How many of them are frozen? Probably a lot of them. Most of them? Yeah, most of them. And then they go to the vegetables. They're like, show me your fresh produce, because they're all talking about, oh, come bring your kid here. We got the fresh veggies. And then he was like, so this is our broccoli and it's frozen. Why don't you use fresh vegetables? Oh, because these are organic broccoli. So it's frozen. Okay, so
Okay. Huh?
everyone's like, what the fuck is going on the package? The broccoli expires in 2 years. So people are saying, when you bring your kid to Shibe, they're eating broccoli that's older than them. Okay, the broccoli has been on this planet longer than your fucking child.
I feel like the broccoli that I eat every day, I was just talking about broccoli earlier, right? Is fresher than this? Question mark. Bought on the store shelf? Question mark. Because that stuff starts to brown pretty quickly. Like, you got to eat that in a few days. Question mark. Otherwise, it's gonna start going bad. Like 2 years. Like, did she say like that stuff's gonna last you? I mean, she might have been joking, right? But still, I think this is nowhere near fresh, right? Again, the broccoli that I eat every other day is fresher than what is going on here. So I guess technically it has to be, right? Like if you just buy vegetables off, like just real vegetables from the grocery store, is that fresh and organic? Question mark. Because you never know, right? Because everyone's trying to say, "Oh, this is organic. This is more organic than what you get at the grocery store." Like, what does it even mean? Does the word even have any sort of merit anymore, or has it lost its meaning nowadays? Question mark. Again, I'm telling you, the broccoli that I'm getting still has freaking caterpillars on it half of the time. So I don't think it's any fresher than that.
On this planet, and your child is consuming the broccoli. And again, nothing is wrong with frozen broccoli. Okay, there's actually debates that there might be more nutrition in frozen vegetables these days because they flash freeze them when they're prime. But it's just the fact that they market it and then they charge you $1 bajillion. You're just expecting, a normal human would go in there and expect it to be fresh broccoli, but it's not. And these poor employees, I mean, they're just getting hounded with questions. They're like, why is the shelf life on the broccoli 24 months? And he goes, I'm not the one that decides that. So then they're all just like, wait, what is...
Oh, so it is 24 months. It is 2 years shelf life. So you could be going over there and getting 2-year-old broccoli.
At one point, they start going through the kitchen supplies and they realize that this kitchen, this huge kitchen that serves 60 various different dishes, they have 10 knives, and 9 scissors. Because all they do is cut open the plastic bags. That's all they be doing. There's another viral clip of one of the interviewers asking a chef if they have any overnight foods at Shibei. So overnight foods is like a big thing where let's say you have a dish from Tuesday night, lamb chops. You got leftover lamb chops at the end of the night. They want, especially nice restaurants that charge a lot, the employees should take home the lamb chops. Because tomorrow, they should not see those fucking lamb chops. It should be fresh lamb chops for all the customers. And he's like, do you guys do overnight foods? And he's like, no, absolutely not. So then they go over the lamb chops, which has a shelf life of two years. So
also 2 years.
How many times do you use this? Oh, three meals. So we do 3 meals. Okay, so let's say you only get 1 order of lamb chops for dinner tonight. What do you do with the rest? Oh, so then we'll probably do it for lunch and dinner tomorrow. So then they're like, okay. So then it's overnight food, yes? The chef pauses. And you can see his brain moving. And you can see him contemplating whether or not Heidi Lau has an opening for a job, okay? So he's just standing there and he's buffering. And then all of a sudden, he just starts aggressively nodding and says, overnight. We do overnight, okay? I mean, all the comments, the netizens love the chefs, by the way. They're like, the Shibei chefs are the most honest people I've ever met in my life. They say that, to be honest.
I think it's just because they don't understand that they're not supposed to be saying this stuff, right? They're just there cooking their food, right? They're just there to cook food. And if you can even argue that they're cooking food, right? They're just there to prepare meals. Right? It's not their job to know about all this company espionage and tactics and secrets and whatnot, right?
Honest, aside from their boss who is a liar, every single one of their employees is so honest. Like, they can't even lie if their life depended on it. So with that, with Lo doing nothing but really just tweeting once or twice about Shibei, the comments say, Lo landed a blow on Shibei, but it wasn't fatal. The subsequent 99 blows were self-inflicted and every single one of them was fucking deadly. Another person says, at most, Lo gave him a light tap, but Shibei couldn't save face and ended up stabbing themselves to death. Like, what the fuck is going on right now? Nobody knows. And people were saying, you know, you gotta take the Heidi Lau incident, for example. So recently in Heidi Lau, I think a few months before this, a Heidi Lau in Shanghai got caught in a huge scandal.
Is it the rat? Oh no. Wait, what is
There's
it?
a rat?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my God, there was a rat?
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What is it?
That felt slanderous.
I don't know. What is it?
Okay, so in Shanghai Heidi Lau, 2 17-year-old boys, motherfuckers, they should be charged as adults. They got up on the table after they finished their meal and pissed into the hot pot.
Oh my God.
What?
Yes.
They peed in the hot pot. They urinated into the hot pot on top of the table. I mean,
I don't think I've heard of this because that's a ludicrous thing to say.
this is nasty. These get reused. They wash the hot pot and then they reuse it.
But that's
because, of
not the
course,
restaurant's fault.
It's
right?
not the restaurant's fault, but it could have gone really bad. Heidi Lau, they act quickly. They act super quick. They address all the issues. They don't try to cover it up. They immediately gut the store. People said it was like they're building a brand new store. They got rid of like
Gut the
everything.
store?
They got rid
Yeah, I feel like that's what you would have to do. I'm on that hill too. Like, okay, they did this. We gotta like demolish the store completely to the ground. Dig up the foundation. Dig up even further to make sure there's no burial ground underneath. Fill it back in. Then a new foundation. Rebuild the store from scratch. New employees. New everything. You have to just carpet bomb. You have to scorched earth that restaurant. You have to scorched earth. Otherwise, you're never going to recover from that. You have to go scorched earth.
of everything to show how serious they were about their hygiene. And then on top of that, if you dined at a Heidi Lau on that day, you're getting 10 times what you paid for food. So if you spent $100, you're getting $1,000 back.
Damn.
From Heidi Lau.
Damn.
And everyone, all the netizens, from what went from, oh my gosh, I never want to eat at a Heidi Lau ever again, to why the fuck didn't I eat at Heidi Lau on piss day? I'm so pissed off at myself. Someone said, I'm poor. If someone peed in that pot and I used it right after but got 10 times the compensation, I wouldn't even mind eating it every single day. Someone said, if I had known this, I would have at least sold my house and gone to eat at Haidilao that day. Other people said, there are always such big opportunities in the big cities. Okay. So other people are saying, I spend so much money every time I go to Haidilao. I feel like there's no meaning in working anymore when I could have just gotten 10 times back if I had just gone there that day. It's like the lottery system. So they turned this insanely negative thing into a damn, I wish I ate there on piss day. So people are like, Shibei should have done something like that. But instead they didn't. Okay, another similar incident with overnight food. Have you heard of Mixue? Mixue? Mixue. How do you pronounce that?
Mixue.
Mixue.
The boba tea?
Yeah, they have a location in New York now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so they have a bubble tea chain. This was around like World Consumer Rights Day.
Again, bubble tea is still something I have not drunken. I have something I have not drunken before. Don't know if I ever will? Question mark. Right? Because it's just like not something that's going to come up. Also, again, basically only drinking water every day. But if you haven't seen the Daily Node video, I mean, I did make this boba 3D model here, right there. So please tell me how good my boba 3D model is. I made this a long time ago, though. This is like the beginning of the Daily Node stuff, right? Of me doing all that stuff. So again, someone who has never had a single boba in their life, and this is my attempt at making a boba tea drink. Again, this is 3D model. This isn't a real boba tea. So if you got confused, this is not real. This is a 3D model. Question mark. Again, praise me for how good my boba tea is. Of course, that's just a joke, right? Do not do that. Do not praise me.
Now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so they have a bubble tea chain. This was around like World Consumer Rights Day. They became one of the companies that were exposed in this investigative expose, slamming the door open, opening Pandora's box, because they have these 50-cent lemonades. And it's,
Sure.
everyone knows what it is. It's water and lemons. And then they
Sure.
have orange. It's like hand-punched orange, they say. So they like, you know how when you make a cocktail, you kind of, I don't know what it's called, muddle them, I don't know.
Yeah,
You kind of smush it around,
Yep.
but instead of adding alcohol, they just add water. So it's 50 cents. You're getting hydrated. It's not too sugary. And it's like a
It's just lemonade. Like,
nice cold refreshment. It's like spa water, cucumber water, 50 cents. I would pay for that, right? Especially if I'm out
oh, we were trying to like give it all these other different names, similes, metaphors. It's just lemonade.
and about, and a water bottle is more expensive. I'm getting the 50-cent cucumber water. Well, turns out, sometimes they would use the same lemons the next day. The lemons would be left overnight, and then they would use it the next day. Okay, that's like the whole, that's the drama. And
Okay.
it was serious, very serious. Everybody was going crazy over this. Mainstream media is reporting this as if, holy shit, this brand is gonna go down. All the comments said, if my lemon water doesn't have lemons that sit out a little, that rest overnight, I don't fucking want it.
Why?
Because they say, how dare you try to take down our 50-cent fucking waters. And then all the comments said, Mishu, I already had low standards, but I'm lowering it again just for you. That's it.
Okay, because the product is so good and so affordable,
Yeah.
and they don't mind the lemon sits overnight. Okay.
Yeah, and then everyone's saying, mainstream
I feel like that one really doesn't matter. Like, who cares, right? It's lemonade.
media journalists, Mishu uses overnight fruit. Netizens, they use real fruit? Incredible. Let's go more often. People say, you know what? Here's the easiest
That's
solve.
true.
Open Mishu 24 hours. Then we won't have overnight fruit, and I'll get my lemon water at 3 in the morning. People are like, don't come from my Mishu. Okay, easy on my Mishu. Which, by the way, if you're in New York City, you can go to Mishu, and I believe they're having similar prices. I don't think it's American prices. I think you can get like a soft serve ice cream cone for $1. And yes. And then if you guys have seen this giant snowman character with a smiley
I have not seen him before, but he is pretty decent mascot.
face, it's like the really cute snowman on edited as the Statue of Liberty. That was Mishu.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're coming to New York.
Uh,
Oh yeah. I actually have not seen a Mishu fight in New York though, but people have saw them on the. Okay, so their mascot.
fight?
Yeah. Okay, so their mascot is the Snow King. It's a giant snowman, cute, the most adorable fucking snowman you've ever seen, always smiling, and it's like a big inflatable. So they have mascots at their stores. A lot of people started spotting them in the dirty streets of New York City. One of them was spotted on the train, and so everyone's like, "Oh my god,
That's so smart.
why is Mishu on the train?"
They made their mascot just roam around the city?
Yes,
Whoa.
and it's actually really smart because in China they have Mishu fights. So it's like a thing in China. I didn't know it's part of the culture. Okay, my culture is not your joke, but it's like a the thing where
Except that she's not Chinese, question mark.
every store, a lot of their brands have their own mascots. And these mascots, a lot of the times in tourist areas specifically or high traffic areas, they have a lot of stores. So you'll have like a Mishu, you'll have another boba tea shop, you'll have another fast food chain, right? Like one store away from each other. And they all get their inflatable mascots and they just start fucking fighting on the street. I've never seen anything like this before. And I went down this deep rabbit hole of watching copious amounts of videos. I think I almost became brain dead from these Mishu fights. So this Snow King will go out there and will just start going crazy. It'll start singing. It's they have a theme song. It's like, you love me, I love you. Mishu's sweet and lovely. And they'll sing it while they're fighting. One of Mishu's biggest competitors is called Cha Panda. And a panda is their mascot. I know, what can do, we never would have guessed, right? And so on the street, sometimes you'll randomly just see a snowman and a blue panda fighting. And so here's what I was thinking. Okay, I'm like, this is a Saturday event. Because like, why would you do this on a Tuesday? It's a Saturday.
I feel Japan kind of has the same thing. They just have like mascots doing just silly things outside. I forget what it's called. There's the one in Japan that's like this, like cute mascot. I think it's actually more of like a costume rather than like an inflatable like this, and it's just constantly doing silly things out in the wild. I don't remember what it's called. It probably has like Chan in the name, right? Something Chan. I wish I would have known what it's called or even what to look it up so you can know what I'm talking about. But maybe I could give it a try trying to find this thing. Or it is this one. Chitan. So this one over here. There's all these videos not back in the day, but like a few years ago of this thing just being weird and doing a lot of weird stuff, right? And they were going around. They even would talk on like a Twitter to people and whatnot, and just being like, I don't know, cute, wholesome, but doing weird stuff. I mean, I don't know who this is. The other mascot. I mean, they have a gun, so obviously that's really silly, right? They're doing silly stuff like that. So that's what that was.
Saturday event when there's a lot of traffic, when there's a lot of people walking by, right? But in every single video, there's only like 3 people walking by. And I'm like, oh, they're doing this for fun. They're dedicated. These mascots.
They're paid fighters.
Yeah, they're MMA fighters in disguise. They're training for something.
How severe is the fight? How dedicated are they?
Okay, so when it's 2 inflatables, right? They do lots of bouncing and boom, boom, and then some of them will flip over. Now, it gets really intense to the point where a lot of them will deflate because the fight was so intense.
Yeah.
And they have backup ones. So
They
they have
change?
backup ones that'll come in and do the rest of the fight.
What do
And
you mean?
then-
They have friends? Peers?
Yeah, they have multiple Mishu snow.
Oh.
Yeah, Mishu's not big budget.
No, it's like a game fight.
Yes, and then
Okay.
one of them actually doesn't fight, and one of the snowmen just holds up a Mishu flag as like symbolizing we won.
Oh.
Yeah, and they just like wave it around. So there's like 3 snowmen. There's this one picture I can't get out of my head. It's like a Mishu snowman standing at the Mishu store, and then the Mishu next to him, another snowman, is just plopped on the ground. No one's helping. No one's even looking at the one on the ground. It's just like dead on the ground. And like people are acting like this is completely normal. This is just another day for kids snow skiing. Yeah, sometimes they also have their giant ice cream soft serve cone. They have like a plastic replica of it outside, like a giant prop. And sometimes when Mishu gets real riled up, they'll grab it and try to poke Chop Panda's inflatable to pop it. And it's just
Yeah, I did see that. They were using like the snow cone as like a weapon.
I don't
Except that it's crazy that the one who's already deflated is using it. There's just a guy at that point with like this skin hanging off of you,
know what's happening.
snowman skin hanging off of you. But is that one even inflatable? If that's just a costume, that looks like just a fabric costume that they bear.
This is for promotional purposes. No, they just be doing that. Like they're stabbing each other with ice cream cones. They're getting deflated. It's a lot. It's a lot that's happening. These battles they're not kids play. And there's this huge burger chain in China called Wallace. It's just like I've never heard of a Chinese word called Wallace, okay? But they're like the competitor for KFC because KFC is actually quite pricey in China. So Wallace is the affordable version. And they are not Mishu's competition. They sell burgers. Mishu sells boba and drinks and ice cream. But it doesn't matter. During one of Wallace's grand openings, it was like a drive-by, okay? Snow Kings show up and just start beating up the burger mascot. Out of nowhere. They just roll up.
Drive-by?
Yeah. They roll up, get out the van, and they just start pummeling. Oh, and even the Mishu customers are really funny. So there was this one incident that went super viral last year where a customer ordered Chop Panda boba tea takeout. They realized they get it, and they checked the label, and they had specifically requested added sugar. But then they checked their delivery app, and it says added sugar, but they checked their drink, there's no added sugar. It's bitter. So they're pissed.
How do you know other than like actually drinking it? Like, how do you know the sugar's not in there?
They reach out to Chop Panda at that exact location, and they say, hey, listen, I asked for added sugar, and you didn't give me added sugar, so what are we going to do about this? And they're like, we're so sorry. We're going to get you a full refund. The customer texts them back because it's like a chat. And they say, no. Give me the employee who made the mistake and have them sing the Mishu theme song for me. If they sing it, I'll write a good review. Chop Panda responds, okay, give her some time to get into the right headspace.
Give her.
I don't
It was
want
a woman?
to get ready. After a few seconds, Chop Panda replies with a 20-second voice message of them singing the competitor's theme song with full enthusiasm. They did the entire song, not the one-line motto, the entire song. Customer said, I forgive you. They respond, thank you, dear.
Yo, this is too good.
What the fuck is happening right now?
Good.
Yeah, their soft serve is only $1.99 and
This always happens where we get so deep in the weeds of the story that we kind of forget. I was like, kind of just like zoned out, not zoned out, but like, engrossed in this like silly, dumb mascot fighting that I was like, wait a minute, how are we here? Like, where are we? Weren't we supposed to be talking about Lo and this billionaire and his businesses? And then like, we've been talking about mascots beating each other up for like the past 10 minutes. I mean, it's fine. This happens sometimes where it's like, wait a minute. Like, it took me a while to be like, hey, wait, how did we get here? We're way off in like the stratosphere on a tangent, which is fine, right? Like, we go off on tangents sometimes too. I don't think I've been on like a decent tangent in a long time now, unless you count the drama at the beginning of being a tangent. But or me talking about cigarettes earlier. I mean, I guess it's still happening, right? It needs to happen more often that way. It needs to be longer. Again, I thought it was weird. Like, wait a minute. Where are we? Wait, why are we talking about this?
In New York, so you should go get it if you're in the city. But they're also just like roaming around. I want to see some mascots fights in the city. I need to see Snow King in action.
The only thing I can think of is Jollibee. That's the only thing I have.
And because it's been going so viral in New York, everyone's been talking about it. Everyone's like, fuck Starbucks, fuck all these expensive matcha brands, go to Mishu. And everyone is posting the Statue of Liberty with Snow King. And all the New Yorkers are saying, one day this place will be yours. Everyone's obsessed.
How did we get here?
Oh, yeah. That's
Okay, he was on the same wavelength as me. Like, we literally just did the same thing. Like, well, wait a minute. How are we here? Like, where are we at? Where am I? Who am I? Hello?
I've done it. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, just get that mask on, just like, bap, bap.
Exactly, but they don't. They open up their kitchens, and now look at the share that you've caused. Look at this mess that you have caused. So this goes on back and forth for the entirety of September and into October. And at this point, Shibei is losing $600 million of revenue. Like, they're losing so much money. Their stores are becoming empty to the point where finally they apologize and they make a whole list of all the things that they're going to fix in the store. They're going to stop using GMO seed oils for all the adults' food since they don't use it for the kids' food. They're going to lower
Did they actually not use it for the kids' food, or is that a lie too?
prices by like 20%. They start doing these crazy promotional coupons, and they start doing the most cringe PR. So usually when things settle down, people were expecting Shibei would just try to bolster the image that they're using healthy foods again and like try to provide evidence, try to provide proof of it. They did do this thing where they installed security cameras in the kitchen, and then that security feed is depicted to the customers that are sitting in the restaurant. So you can see what's going on in the kitchen, and they're switching up the cooking processes.
Whoa.
Look, like they are doing a lot, but they're
I feel like you would have to pay your employees more money, though, because that's a very uncomfortable working environment, no? To constantly be monitored with cameras by the pedestrians, question mark? Like, wouldn't that just drive you crazy to know that there's always some freaks out there watching you at all times? You can't, like, do your job. You can't, like, relax for a second, because who knows what they are seeing you relax, or how they are seeing you relax, right? Like, maybe you just want to take a sit down on the floor real quick because you're just so that exhausted, and like now you can't do that, or whatever weird thing you're going to do back there that you don't want to see, right?
They're also doing a lot of cringe PR moves to try and save their reputation. So they post this entire story of a Shibei employee, and she's sitting there, and she's like, "This is the story of 7-year-old Mao Mao." Mao Mao means hair, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's like saying that there was this mother who had seen all the recent news of Shibei and told her son that they're never going to eat at Shibei anymore. And this entire story is so dramatic. The waiter is like, the moment the 7-year-old Mao Mao walked into the shop, he rushed straight towards the manager, wrapped his arms around her legs, and burst into tears. And Mao Mao's sudden actions left Fang Fang, the manager, in just frozen in place. Like, what on earth is going on? Are you okay, child? And he's explaining, my mom recently saw discussions online and casually said to the family, maybe we shouldn't take the kids to Shibei this Sunday like we do every Sunday. It was just a little thing that his mom threw out, but Mao Mao overheard it. He started crying, throwing a tantrum, insisting on going to Shibei, even when his mom tried to distract him, like, I'll take you to grandma's instead, or I'll take you to buy a toy instead. Instead, he resisted all temptations, and he was determined to have his Shibei kids meal. That was his promise with Shibei. So Mao Mao's mother realized that her child had been eating Shibei since he was 2 years old, and in the past 5 years, there had
Is that something you should be doing? Giving your kid restaurant food that potentially isn't what they say it is since they were 2?
never been any food safety issues. She shouldn't let some online discussion undermine that trust. That 5-year journey from ages 2 to 7 was no longer just about eating. It had become a habit in her child's growth and a reflection of her parents' trust in Shibei. What warmed our manager, Fang Fang, is not just the love from customers, but also the love from Shibei itself.
Yikes.
The employee is filming this. You know, they forced the poor employee to film this. And from a PR perspective, what the just shut up. That's crazy considering all of that's been going on. This is the last thing. And people said, everyone thought that Shibei had already taken off all their clothes and there was nothing left to see, but they bent over, spread their ass cheeks open and said, let me show you Mao Mao. Let me show you my butt hair.
Oh, shit.
And people are saying this because no one thinks 7-year-old Mao Mao exists. So they're not like dogging on a kid. They didn't show a kid. You know, it's just a story of a hypothetical kid
Sure.
that nobody thinks exists. Everyone's like, this story definitely didn't happen. And then people started doing these photoshopped images of a kid hugging a Shibei employee, and the caption is, it's okay, Mao Mao. I will freeze it for you and you can eat it when you get older. So right off the bat, this story already sounds fake, but then netizens start nitpicking it, and they're all questioning like all the random details. So the employee is like, oh yeah, I've known Mao Mao, and he's in kindergarten now, and all the comments are like, that kid is 7 and in kindergarten? I don't know how ages work, but all the Chinese netizens are like, 7 and in kindergarten? The Shibei food got to him. He's not learning, okay? People are saying like, what is happening? That's why you can't feed them Shibei. Then the second story that they come out with,
I don't know what I'm saying. Like, really? I mean, if this kid actually exists, like, really? Feeding them for 5 years? This restaurant food? Like, I don't feel like that you shouldn't be doing that. Like, you should be eating at home for most of your meals in your youth? Question mark. not like every week eating junk food. Well, if you're gonna call it junk food, we don't know if it's actually junk food, right? They say it's healthy, organic, or whatever, right? But you can't trust these companies. You don't know what's in that stuff.
They start doing these like employee stories of how much the employees love, you know, Shibei and how their customers love it. So this one employee is like, you know, I was serving this elderly man, and he was an old man. He was from Inner Mongolia, and people loved a very specific noodle there. And Shibei's version, he said, is very authentic. So he asked me if I could bring him lamb soup and another separate bowl of soup, but only charge him for one. So I said sure, and I told him I would check with the manager, and that's how we first met. From then on, every time he came in, he would go to one of the private rooms. He would look for me. And everyone's like, this is starting to sound like a grooming type of situation, but okay. I served him from 2002 to 2004, and one day he called me and said that he's staying at a retirement home now. Whenever he came to get takeout, I would just pack him a week's worth of food and write down the menu from Monday through Sunday. And I don't know which part touched him, but I guess our sincerity at Shibei really mattered to him. And then he told me that he had this one-bedroom property and wanted to gift it to me. I was only 17 at the time. I was so shocked. I didn't know what to
17 at the time?
Yeah. You know, yeah.
What in the world?
I didn't know what to say, and I politely refused. Later,
She started working when she was 15?
everyone said, wait a fucking minute. Is Shibei admitting to child abuse?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like hello. Though, I think teenagers getting jobs isn't too crazy though.
labor laws being broken.
What? Who wrote that?
Yeah, and she said, you know, later he moved to the retirement home and we stopped contacting each other, but I still think the sincerity we have at Shibei is really special. And everyone said, okay, well, first of all, this is clearly a made-up story, but second of all, even if it were a remotely true story, like you were getting groomed, and your bosses are telling you that this is a cute story, you were getting groomed, you were 17. And also,
Sure.
they're like, wait, let me analyze this. This man walks in, he said, let me get 2 bowls of soup and I want you to charge me for one, and yet he wants to gift you his house? What? Other people are saying, you started working 2 years ago. You were 17 when you offered the house, so you were 15. So is Shibei saying that this is child labor? They're abusing the laws. Is that what's happening?
Yep.
And then other people are saying, you can tell grandpa that he can still eat Shibei at the retirement home. You can just prepare him 2 years worth of food. It'll be fine.
Oof.
And then someone else said, let me just finish the story for you. In the end, the two of them, the 17-year-old and the harabaji, the grandpa, get married and they have a kid named Mao Mao. Because they're saying all of this is fake. These are imaginary characters. Then the last story, yeah, they do another story. And this time it's like at a Shibei work conference where one of the employees goes up and is like, I need to tell you about one of the best stories I've had working at Shibei. And the founder of Shibei, Jia,
He is there.
is in the crowd and he's just tearing up. And the camera pans to him at the perfect time that he's tearing up. It's like a wedding vow more than anything. Okay, it's like, what's happening? So this is the story of the 1-year-old. She said this mother walks in and this mother was telling her,
What-year-olds?
like her 1-year-old would just never eat enough food. They went to the doctor, they did everything that they could, but when they
This is already stupid, right? This 1-year-old, question mark, this 1-year-old is going to miraculously just eat all the Shibei food, right? It's the only thing. It's so good that this child will only eat Shibei. Is that what we're about to hear right now?
started taking him to eat at Shibei, that's when he truly learned how to eat food. And that's how Shibei became a family. And now he's almost 3 years old now, has very strong feelings towards Shibei. And there was one time where the closest location
Can he have strong feelings like 3? He hasn't even gained consciousness yet.
to us had shut down. He saw the manager, ran up to the manager on the last day when everything's already closed and was just sobbing because this is how he eats. He eats that. He lives in
The 3-year-old?
Yeah, Shibei. And it's just,
Shouldn't be eating there to begin with. Like, can they even eat? At 1-year-olds, are you even eating solid, like that much of solid food that would be served at a restaurant? Question mark. Maybe, but I don't know. Again, it's so dumb because like anyone would like easily be like, "This is stupid. Like this is not real. It doesn't make any sense." Again, this child hasn't even gained consciousness yet. He's not 4 or 5, whatever the normal age is for them to gain consciousness / self-awareness. It's dumb.
I mean, Shibei literally was the only reason my child ate food. And then Gia's just in the crowd wiping his tears. Okay, but then you know what's crazy? People are like, who the fuck is this employee sharing this story? Turns out, Gia's stepdaughter.
The fuck? Okay.
Yeah, so they're like, okay, this is not an employee who works at a store. This is literally, I mean, it's crazy. And then there were other episodes or like other viral things that were just taking off. There would be this one guy who's sitting there and he's like, I always take my kid to Shibei. Like people, whatever they're saying online is just flat out fake. I take my kid to Shibei every single day. And you know what? He's taller than the other kids in his class. He's blah, 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 blah.
Again, probably not true. I have not thought about using the Beyond Factor faked or whatever this entire time. I don't know why it never came up to me like, oh yeah, fake. We made it up. Didn't happen. And even if it did, well then it's probably because all the chemicals are radioactive in the food that they're eating, and it's caused him to grow really tall from all the radioactive contamination that he's been given, and it's not going to be great in a few years. That radioactivity is not going to be. He's not going to turn into Spider-Man.
And then the netizens, they catch him at a Shibe location in a Shibe uniform. And they said, wait a minute, so Shibe is having employees pretend to be customers online, allegedly, and posting videos endorsing Shibe.
Embarrassing. They can't
What
take
the
an
heck?
L.
They can't.
And how is this company not out of business? It shouldn't have just been, oh, we wasted all this money in a month or so because of what happened, the scandal. It should be, I don't know, their equivalent of, I don't know. Would the FDA have any, like, I don't know if the FDA is what would have any say here, right? Let me even look that up. Hold on. Yeah, no, I think the FDA is a good thing to say there. So yeah, their equivalent of the FDA, when they'd be like, hey, you've been lying about this food for your entirety of existing, you are going to have to shut down, right? Because you're saying one thing and you're doing another thing, and this is not okay. I mean, I don't know if the FDA would necessarily do it, but I feel like the civilians would file a lawsuit against the company, right? I forgot what it would be called, like, you know, like the people of China versus this company, right? And they would sue them and be like, okay, you've been lying to us for X amount of years, time to go out of business. I don't know if that's what happened with Red Bull. I think the thing that happened with Red Bull, this isn't comparable. What happened with Red Bull is really stupid. Like, I hate the Red Bull gives you wings line, catchphrase or whatever, but I'm pretty sure they got sued many years ago because of that tagline, because saying Red Bull gives you wings is not acceptable because it doesn't literally give you wings, and the fact that they don't say, hey, it doesn't actually give you wings, allowed them to be sued. And now when they say Red Bull gives you wings, it's emphasizing the I's, right? It's WIIINGS, and that's a way to get around it, right? So you can't just say whatever you want when advertising, at least over here, right? Because again, I think this one's kind of weird and dumb at the same time with the Red Bull one, even though I hate the catchphrase whether it has 3 I's or it's just regular wings. But you can get in trouble. Again, I swear that Red Bull got sued or whatever because of their tagline, Red Bull gives you wings, and they had to change the catchphrase to be WIIINGS instead.
Can't take the L. So then people are like, okay, let me just title this drama out for you. Episode 1, the Mao Mao who cried because they couldn't eat Shibe. Episode 2, the uncle who wanted to gift a home after drinking soup in Beijing. Episode 3, the barely 1-year-old baby who couldn't have Shibe. Waiting for episode 4 now. Yeah. And then people said, I come up with the next script. A terminally ill patient eats at Shibe 3 days later. Wow, they're cured. Because that's how crazy it's been getting. But what's crazy is people are going on Redbook, and a lot of Shibe locations are packed. They got lines out the door.
Why?
They're doing lots of promotions. They've lowered the prices across the board. And it seems like, I don't know if they're going to make a full comeback, but it seems like they're doing okay. What are your thoughts?
Unfortunate.
The weirdest Chinaverse story I've ever encountered in my life. I never knew.
I was hoping for more from Lo there at the end. It was just like he just jabbed Shibe, and then they went just full psycho. And then we didn't hear from Lo again for the rest of the story.
We would get this crazy because we have lots of influencer restaurant dramas in the US where it's always like the influencers like, I want free appetizers for a story. And then it's like, okay, that's crazy. But this is crazy.
This is, wow.
I thought it would be more on the lines of that, but this is a $600 million call out by an influencer. And
I mean, I guess at least it isn't like we have rats in the food or something, rats and bugs in the food. And it was just like we were just using restaurant quality. I mean, we were just using fast food quality food, right? At least there weren't rats, right? Question mark?
an even crazier food chain owner. What are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.
No clue what that says. I don't know if I even want to like make an attempt to see what this says. You know what? I'll try. I'll like screenshot it and put it in the Google Translate. All right, this is what Google Translate said. It said, "Those who know do not speak. Those who speak do not know." That is the quote here, allegedly, at the end of this. Yeah, that is going to be it for today. That crazy story, though. I wish there was more of the low guy talking about doing stuff, more wonk tonk stuff, right? As soon as we got to the point where he was, poking the bear, that is the restaurant, he basically just stopped being a part of the story, unfortunately. I would have liked more from him. Bit silly story. Though it's weird that they're already coming back, so like, it probably didn't do that much damage if they're already getting back on their feet as like dumb as they were. Question mark. But yep, that is that. I don't know if I have anything else to say. There's more stuff I wanted to say with the hater stuff at the beginning that I remembered like partly through the reaction. I was like, oh, I didn't talk about that. I don't think I shouldn't even bring it up, but it was just like the what was it? Oh, trying to make money off of people, right? When the opposite is what it's usually complained about, but it's gotten like even crazier on Twitch recently, which I'm not even going to get into, but it's just weird to be like, oh, basically saying I am a, how would you even put it? Like, am I like an e-boy? Is that what we can call me? Am I an e-boy? Is that what I'm doing? Even though I don't really feel like I'm doing anything, right? I'm a thirst trap e-boy, despite literally no one knowing what I look like or anything like that. I'm not saying anything inappropriate. Question mark. I'm using a freaking bunny as an avatar when I'm talking. Question mark. But yeah, don't have much to say about any of that stuff anymore, so we're good. I don't know what we're going to be doing tomorrow. I don't know when Stephanie's going to post part 4 of her current reality show that she's doing or whatnot. Again, I was supposed to be doing The Void, but I feel like I had to talk about the hater segment today, so we had to go do a Stephanie video. Yep, I think we're good. Again, tell this boba tea how sexy it is, how attractive it is. Don't tell me. Tell this boba tea in the comments, and I'll let it know that you appreciated it. Yeah, cuties. Thanks for watching. Remember to buy my stickers, to think about becoming a member, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because we're working on watch time and subscribers. And don't forget we have a throne now as well. And shout out the members: EmmyStarr, RaleyDrew, and alexgkiller 880. Didn't realize I need to move this now because of I changed the way the window looks after designing the new window. Yeah, cuties. Thanks for watching. Tune to the next episode. Like, subscribe, hype, and comment. You know the do. See ya.